Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thursday Night Locals at Nerd Rage Gaming. My name is Dan Hugar. I am here with Brian DeVeza. And Brian, we are both back again 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row is kind of crazy.
What is happening?
I know.
This is wild.
I know 2 weeks in a row is kind of crazy, especially as we're both adults and you're a parent. So it feels like a treat to have both of us here.
It is
like
wonderful.
It's
yes.
awesome. Yeah.
And it's good we are because we got to get a trend going because we got a cup on Sunday.
Yeah, there's a cup on Sunday, and then we have new format today, so there's a lot to be excited about today. So super happy to be here, and I'm really excited for a lot of the games that we have here.
Dude, I'm excited too. We lost our screen for a second. I got scared. But we also have, I think, more players today than we did for League Challenge last week, which tells me people are very excited to whip out their Pokepads.
Yeah, and also I feel like everyone's
that sounded way dirtier than I meant it to be.
And
but yes.
Everybody's also back from Seattle too.
Yes.
I feel like travel was a reason why our attendance was a little bit lower last week, but yeah, super excited for all that.
And Munoz, thank you so much for being here. Love to have you. And I am also excited for Sunday stream, so I'm glad you'll be joining us.
Yeah.
And Chaz, yes.
Yeah, we are Ascended Heroes legal today, so very excited to see all the stuff that's going to be kind of being played today. I already can tell there's going to be a lot of Zoroark today.
There is a lot of Zoroark because there's only a handful of cards that came out in the set that are impactful, but they are very, very impactful.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Chaz is saying already, like one of the hot decks in the room too with Pokepad is going to be Dragapult also. So definitely going to be a really good card going into this this format here.
Yeah, I hate to tell you all this, but Pult got better.
Yeah, Pult got better for sure.
Which is wild to me. But we are going to see, actually, to start off, Chaz, as you said, this disgusting deck, Pnoir Mirror. And Brian, we kind of talked about this. This is either an incredibly entertaining game or dumb.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely depends on like how all the draws kind of go and all of that. So it's funny we have an identical start here, but Ben will be going first here and has the Buddy Poffin in hand. So already a pretty good start for him.
And dueling Duskulls is not bad because both players want to get that Duskull down. But getting a Buddy Poffin going first for Pnoir is a huge deal because it means you can start to get some draw for the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So we're already seeing this first deck search come out from Ben and trying to see how he wants to start the game off. It's good to know that we have the pink card in the deck.
Pink card is important.
Yep, definitely. So looks like we're going to be grabbing a Badoo and we're going to be grabbing a Dreepy as well.
And I don't mind that decision. I think because it can be hard to search out Budoos in the future, getting one down now is good, although obviously it's a little sketchy to bench the Budoo if you're not guaranteed item lock.
Yeah, definitely. And I like this move here from Ben to go immediately playing the Ultra Ball to grab that Dracloak because knowing this matchup, Badoo is going to be put into play pretty early here, so being able to grab that first Dracloak while the items are still active is going to be very huge for Ben.
I don't mind it. And Munoz, Tera box with Pokepads could definitely be scary. Yeah. I will tell y'all, I have a new favorite deck that I've been blabbing about on the Nerd Rage chat, so we'll talk about that one a little later.
Definitely will. So looking forward to that as well. So looks like we are going to be passing it on to Alec here, and Alec also will be following up with his own Buddy Poffin as well.
And Alec is a sack because he just top-decked Lily's Determination, which is pretty... Oh, and we have the pretty cards here.
Pretty cards here, too. So those really nice little Dreepies and those Badoos from the new set.
And so Ascended Heroes only has a couple playable cards, but it is a lot of very pretty cards.
A lot of very pretty cards and a lot of very expensive ones, too.
Yes, it's also true.
Yep, definitely. So we're going to see the attachment go on to this Duskull here, and we're going to be playing the Lily's Determination. It's going to get us 8 fresh cards in Alec's hand here, and hopefully we can just use it to continue our setup here with more Dreepies and more Duskulls as well.
And I think that's the great thing about going second with Pnoir is you just get to see so many cards and so many opportunities to set up basics.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, being able to kind of get that start is going to be very, very good. And I really like the supporter count that a lot of the Pnoir decks are kind of doing now with the heavy counts of Lily's Determination and the Ionas as well, just because it feels like it helps your deck not suck as much as it usually does.
Correct. That is an excellent way to say it. Yes. And so the 4/4 Lily's Iono is fantastic. And Andrew Hedrick, great player. He's come to Nerd Rage a bunch of times. Good dude. He actually played almost the exact supporter line I played of 1 Research, 1 Hilda to go with those 8 supporters. And I mean, I think that's such a good inclusion just to make sure you can play the game once these Budu Wars start to happen.
Yeah, definitely. So good to see that we have that Dracloak in hand already, and getting the Lily's Determination off the Recon Directive was super good here.
That's so good because Ben's hand was dead.
Yeah.
So being able to, like you said last turn, get that Dracloak, get that Recon Directive off, it let him actually play the game.
Yeah, definitely. So good that we have the energy attachment as well. So it looks like we'll be able to get this Duskull out of the active here, and we're going to be able to follow up with our own Itchy Pollen here in just a little bit. But hopefully Ben will be able to draw into some more playable cards, hopefully, and get some more setup as well.
Unfortunately, seeing a Buddy Palafin or a Pokepad is not actually going to help Ben in this case, but there's still an opportunity to see some like true basics here.
Yeah, definitely. So, we don't see any of them, unfortunately.
That's not ideal.
It's not, but being able to at least put some pressure on with the Itchy Pollen is pretty good, and getting that Dusclops is huge here too.
Ooh, it is. So one of the things I've learned in this mirror, Alberto Conti and Simon Feng put out really, really good guides for Pnoir. And one of the things that both of them agreed on is the Pnoir that can item lock the longest without being item locked in return has the biggest likelihood to succeed. And so one thing Ben could have done there if he wanted to was actually pop that Dusclops to knock out Budu and then use his own Itchy Pollen.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it's a good play to do, but it also has its downsides also, in my opinion, just because giving that extra card could also be a really big game changer for Alex. So it's one of those like high risk, high reward plays, I feel like, if you were to go that route of popping the Dusclops onto the Budu and following up with your own item lock as well.
Absolutely. So the other advantage to holding it is what's the value you get out of it. Ben has Neo Uppy and a Dragapult in hand, and if we also have a boss, we could just win the game next turn.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's definitely a route that we could go, depending on what the draws kind of look like here.
And Alec has not seen another basic Pokemon.
Yeah.
So this game could rapidly transition from a fantastic back-and-forth adventure to over.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with, this matchup either being like a really, really interesting match or just the worst thing you ever see in your entire life, right?
Correct.
I know.
So then I think it's going to come down to, because we know we have Neo Uppy, we know we have Pult, it's really going to come down to we have a Gust for Ben.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be our main goal here. We're going to see that Recon come out already. Don't have many other options for us to do here.
Honestly, I think Alec is debating benching the bear.
Yeah, and it looks like we're not going to go that route, it looks like.
Ooh. Yes, Chaz, you're right. Ben wins with Gust or Dustoir. No, even if we have Dustoir, we still need Gust. Because we can't hit the Budu and win the game. All right, but we see the item lock from Alec. Yeah. Does Ben get it here?
Let's see. So we have the energy. We have the Dragapult. Let's see what this Recon Directive's gonna
Excellent job, Ben. Good sequencing. Recon first.
Looks like it's just another Dusclops and a Monkey Dory.
Which isn't bad.
Not bad here. And I feel like, too, it's not a bad idea to just pop that Dusclops here. And then, Dan, I'll ask you this. Do you think popping the Dusclops and trying to get the extra prize card, as like a potential boss, do you think that would be a good idea? Or would you try to just use it as a way to take out that only Dracloak and play the safer route?
In my mind, you have to take out the only Dracloak. Like, there's no world where it's a better decision to leave that Dracloak alive.
Yeah.
And also, Alec is an intelligent human being. If Ben knocks out that Budu, Alec is in no way going to advance the Dracloak. So Ben would have to hope to hit a Gust off of that prize. So I'm fine with this decision to Lily's to try to set up further and then just clear that Dracloak from the board.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely like that idea as well. It was a good sequencing decision to play the Lily first just so we can get the full 8 cards here before we start taking the prizes and all of that.
And so this is one where if we do see the Dustoir, it may not be bad to evolve it up and just clear the cloak from the board and then put the rest of that on the Dusclops, just because it makes it a lot harder for Alec to try to, like, tank or sustain anything, since benching any basic could still lead to Ben winning the game.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we are going to get another Duskull here, which is going to be good for further setup here. Fortunately, we don't see any more Dreepies yet, but past this turn, we will definitely be able to see them. So good idea on Ben's side, going for that pop on the Dusclops. We're going to be retreating into the Dragapult. We'll be taking the first 2 prizes of the game here.
Well, and also something should be noted, and actually I would almost say if I'm Ben to just put all the damage on the cloak.
I 1000% agree too, just because, you know, you never know how those damage counters are going to go with stuff like Monkey Dory and all that stuff, so I've always been of the opinion, you know, if you for matchups like this, you always want to just make sure your opponent doesn't have any damage counters to work with.
Agreed. And so one thing for Ben, you had mentioned very accurately that there aren't any Dreepies on the board. It doesn't matter if Ben is the only one with a Dragapult line on the board, because now Ben has time to just continue to attack aggressively and set up like a game plan against Alec here.
Yeah, definitely. So looking pretty good here, at least now on Alec's side. He's got some extra Dreepies here that hopefully can stick around for a little bit longer.
And this is a tough spot for Alec because Counter Catcher is so good, but there's no really good target for him on Ben's board.
Definitely, just because everything either has 1 retreat cost or no retreat cost at all, so it's going to be a little tough for him to work around all of this here.
The other tricky part is because that Dusclops has evolved, the only way Alec can get it out of the active is popping it.
Yeah, popping it. It's going to put Ben down to 3 prizes, which could pretty much put him in position to end the game almost.
100%. Yeah. Is that a Briar in Alec's deck we just saw? Briar and Rare Candies?
Wow.
Did we drop a couple Buddy Poffin for that?
Yeah, looks like it.
Holy. What do you think about that inclusion?
That's an interesting inclusion here. Part of me wonders why Briar doesn't really get played more often in a deck like this, but at the same time, it's like you'd rather just have your consistency cards there instead. It feels like Briar's kind of like that cheeky kind of like inclusion that kind of throws your opponent off.
And I would agree. I think it's really, really cool, and I don't know how often you use it compared to something like another draw supporter or something like that.
Definitely. So the Fez comes down here. Looks like we're just going to use that flip the script ability here.
And Iono is a good pull.
Iono is good, especially if we were planning on popping that Dusclops anyways. Just because now we can take that extra prize here.
And that is pretty good. Oh, we get another Iono. Excellent.
And we'll be able to counter catcher and go straight down to 3 prizes. And that Latias in Ben's hand is all of a sudden going to be going to the bottom of the deck.
And so that's fine, honestly, for Ben, because Ben still is only a single attachment away from getting this out of the active.
Yeah.
But we're only seeing 3 cards with no draw on board.
Exactly, and that's going to be the difficult part about this as well, is just being able to navigate with only 3 cards here. It's going to be pretty much have to be like the best 3 cards ever, right? Oh, we have an energy.
Well, you know.
Looks like we don't really get punished too much here.
And also, per your comment again about no pulse, we're going to be able to Buddy Poffin out a couple. Well, that's a lie. Never mind.
Yeah,
never mind. Just kidding. That's
pretty good.
Actually, really good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good card.
I mean, that's actually so good right now, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah, this is actually really good now.
So I mean, I don't know about you, Brian, but what are we bossing, if anything?
I feel like we boss a Dreepy up because we need to guarantee that knockout for sure. I mean, if we had like a Monkey Dory that had like the luminous energy,
we would just win the game.
Yeah, we would just win the game. But unfortunately, looks like we're still going that route anyways.
So I don't mind that decision. I think it forces forces Alec to find Turo or something, or Latias, and also by not taking a knockout, Alec only drew 4 cards off that Iono. It is going to be difficult for him to continue to dig into the deck.
Definitely.
And if you look at Alec's hand, that's exactly why. We have a Briar in there. We have a Dust Noir in there. And that's it.
We don't have many pieces to work with here. Looks like we're just going to have the energy to retreat. Yeah, Boss Fez definitely was a smart play here. Definitely like that.
And so we can Gust and can force Ben to find another energy, but man, we are really close to pulling this off. All right, so we see the draw. It is, oh, well, that's pretty rude.
Yeah, definitely.
And that, we don't even need to think about it. Just need to retreat. That's all we do is need to retreat. And we can take four prizes to win the game. And that was interesting. And yeah, Chad, I agree. Boss Fest is definitely the smart line. But let's jump over to our second game, and then we can keep talking about this one. So, Brian, what the heck is happening here?
This is an interesting matchup here. This is probably something we would have watched, like, the beginning of this rotation.
Wow. So, describe to us the scenario we are facing.
We are watching Archaludon EX in the year of 2026 here.
The year of our Lord, 2026.
And we have Zoroark on the other side, too, which, you know, was eventually going to happen anyways, right? But interesting board state from both players here.
I agree, and I am wondering why we attached a Squawk, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get punished. And yeah,
definitely.
Chaz, that was a wild top deck for Ben.
Yeah, definitely a big punish there from him. Okay, so we're going to get the Archaludon EX here in play.
Which is pretty good, because now we're going to be able to knock out that Reshiram. And going down to 3 prizes is probably fine, because there are a ton of single prizes on Christian's board.
Yeah, and I think this is also an interesting matchup as well, just because for Josh's side, he's actually able to take advantage of the damage being put into play, just like Zoroark's able to with the Reshiram, because if you play the Relicanth and the baby Duraludon, can kind of put that damage back onto the other side of the board too.
Raging Hammer, baby.
Definitely.
And Flips, you are not alone in that, because until Brian and I saw the screen pop up, neither of us were aware we were assembling alloys.
Definitely.
Mudkip, that is fine. Thanks for joining us, and we're looking.
Trevor,
Trevor, dude, great to see you Sunday.
Yes.
I'm glad you are aware who Trevor is.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's his old Xbox gamer tag. Of course I have to know.
Oh. See, there's some lore I was not aware of.
Definitely. All
right, so Brian, how is Senior responding?
Yeah, so we played the Serrano here, so at least we can get a little bit more draw out of here with both of the Fez and the extra Zoroarks as well. So that'll be good, just so that we can at least get the other attackers kind of going. I mean, we do have the Zekrom on the board, which is good, but we're going to definitely need like the extra Zoroarks for draw, and we're going to need that Petron to put that one on the bench into the active.
And so here's the interesting thing. The Zoroark with Zekrom now hits for 250.
Yep.
With the Binding Mochi, it actually gets all the way up to 290.
Yeah, it does.
How much health does Archaludon have?
300.
That it does, and that 10 damage is very important here.
Yep, so part of me is kind of thinking if we don't go that route, we might just have to go the route of maybe just taking out the Squawkabilly.
I think we have to, because we're going to be able to do that, and then Josh will be able to hit into a Zoroark, but not for knockout, because even with that max belt, we're hitting 270.
270. It's so funny that like both sides are just short damage-wise, but you know, stuff like the black belt, that could also play into it as well.
That is true.
That could be something that kind of gets us over that hump as well, which is one of the reasons why it's played so much in this deck, because you're going to be needing to hit stuff over 300 a lot, like Dragapults and all that other stuff.
Absolutely. And so the one thing with this matchup, too, is both players are kind of playing chicken, because assuming Senior plays, Reshiram, he has a way to one-shot these bridges if the bridges hit him
and
first.
And he does play the Reshiram, because that was what was knocked out in the active that last turn.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Duh. So, I mean, Christian can threaten that. Josh, as you guys can see from the Relicanth on the board, can also threaten that, and that's a huge deal.
Definitely is. So looks like we are going to get the Ends PP up, the black belt, the Hourglass.
Interesting. So, I mean, that's a great inclusion when combined with Darmanitan.
Yeah.
Because you discard both energy, and then with the Power Glass, slap one on at the end of the turn. Zoroark usually tanks a hit, and you're a manual attachment away from one-shotting the next Pokemon.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of benefit to playing a card like that, and it's definitely a good tech card to have. So looks like we're going to have all those 3 cards here, and we're going to see how they kind of go into play here. So we're going to use the Fez here. Off rip, we're going to get a Lily, another Zekrom, and a Darumaka.
And Darumaka's not as good into this matchup as it is others, because
Yeah.
even though you can do some pretty decent damage with the first attack, Archaludon turns off its weakness every time it hits you.
Definitely. So I feel like that's also like a big reason why I feel like the Darm line really is mainly just for the Goldengo matchup in a way.
It is. It also is really good into Pulse or into any other evolving basic.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if the Pulse are not really playing any like Shamans or anything like that as well.
Jewish Kid, thank you so much for joining. We are great. Are you great, Brian?
I'm great.
I'm also great.
Yeah,
How are
great.
you doing, man?
Yeah.
And then we have Senior. I mean, we actually have a really good hand teed up here.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a lot of pieces kind of ready to go here. So it looks like he's eyeing that counter catcher to grab the Squawk ability.
And I like that decision. The only downside, if we do put this Petra down, well, actually, we don't have to because we have N's Castle down. So we're good. We're good. We're chilling.
Definitely.
So,
Okay.
What do you think of this decision?
I guess I'm thinking we're not going for like the attack here. I don't think we have the energy for it.
We have N's PP up, but do we not have an energy in the discard?
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, that's bad. Jewish Kid, Josh is farming a lot of aura, and that's the only response I have to your question.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how good this deck actually is, but
For what it's worth, it's about to cook Christian.
yeah, definitely.
Because in case you guys didn't know, Metal resists grass, so Buddy did 0 damage. Josh just simply attacking here will put him down at 2 prizes, and we're going to be pretty close to that's all she wrote territory.
Definitely, and especially with the fact that the Fez is on the board too. That's something to think about. Is that 2 prize liability?
And again, Christian still can't knock. Well, actually, that's a lie. Pecharon could knock out this bridge at this point.
Definitely.
Darmanitan is excellent to Cerulege and Alakazam, and one of those 2 decks is competitive. So being able to beat those is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we're going to play the Pokepad to get the Darumaka here. We're going to play another Pokepad here. I guess we're just thinning out some more Pokemon here. We're going to grab the second Zekrom here as well.
And I think that's really it, because kind of like you said, I think we do have to go in and knock out this Squawk here.
Yep.
Just because we can't afford to hit into this bridge.
Yeah.
We need it to hit back into us.
Definitely. And it is best of 1 today. We usually are running best of 1 unless it's top cut of our cups. That's usually the only time that we're doing best of 3.
Yes.
Yep.
And flips, and that's exactly the problem. Yep. Petch is a huge liability because that is game over for Christian if he benches it.
Yep, definitely. So we're going to play the second trade here.
But with Black Belt and Mochi, we actually would be within range of a knockout here.
Definitely.
But I don't know if we have it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, Brian, I guess what is Christian's best move here?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that part out, too. I guess he's really just trying to exhaust all of his resources first before we figure it out here.
Jewish Kid, Fez absolutely is also a liability, but that ship has unfortunately sailed a turn or 2 ago.
Definitely. So that's been a liability for a while. So looks like we're just going to see if we can just take a knockout here.
And we will be able to on Fez. The other thing we could do, and that is an interesting thing, is we could hit this bridge for 70. And if we hit it for 70, we can then Turo or retreat into another Zoroark to clean it up for 250.
Yep, definitely. But knowing Josh, though, you never know. He's just 1 boss away from just winning the game.
That is true. And also 1 Turo away from completely undoing that strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we're just going to take the Squawk here. I feel like that's the good, safe bet here.
Yeah, I think we gotta.
Yeah, at least so we can get something on the board here. Looks like we're going to be taking that knockout.
Yeah, using Zekrom's second attack, which does 250 damage and says he can't attack during the next turn. And
we have the boss there.
And we actually took the boss off the prizes.
Yep.
So, assemble some alloy.
Yeah, assembling the alloys is winning today. So
That was not on my bingo card.
Yeah, not on mine either. So
real quick, before we get back to the games, for those who are trying to get into Houston, I think registration did reopen about a minute ago.
Yeah.
So there are a few slots. If you do want to take a break, make sure you try to get in there. Good luck. Godspeed.
Yep.
Are you going to Houston?
I will not be.
Okay. When's your next event?
Probably next season.
All right. Fair enough. Nice.
I think next season, yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
Yeah.
We're adults. Like you said, it happens that way.
But I'm hoping to go to Worlds this year, actually.
Oh.
Just to spectate, because they have like the whole Pokemon XP thing going on. So I'm hoping to actually do that, because like the girlfriend and I have been talking about going to New York for 1 week, and then the second week just doing a week in San Francisco.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're thinking about doing that for the summer. So that might be in the books.
So for those who don't know what Brian is talking about here, Pokemon is kind of set up a secondary part of Worlds, where Worlds is the competitive portion of it, but a lot of the non-competitive portions, the like whole experience, has been separated into a Pokemon XP thing. So it's just really cool experience.
Yeah, definitely. And Juice could like appreciate that you like the hat. I got this at Clark Street Sports.
Nice.
I don't know if it's like a special collection though. It's like a Mitchell and Ness snapback, but I liked it because it had like that little like Futura looking like graffiti style. So I ended up getting it because I ended up going to a Bulls game last month. So
did we win?
Yeah, we did win.
All right.
Yeah, it was cool. So I would check like your local like sports store or go on Mitchell and Ness's website. You might be able to find it over there too.
Dude, I'm glad you got the hookup.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
good style,
definitely,
man.
yeah.
So, Brian, we obviously got to see a few Pokepads played here.
Yeah.
Did you expect to see Bridge today?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Definitely did not expect to see Bridge, especially with like Pokepad being like super big in the meta. I feel like since it can't like search out any sort of like, two prize or like multi-prize Pokemon, it's like it feels like it would be an even worse reason to play like a deck like Archaludon.
Yeah,
definitely.
Dan, take criticism well. Okay. So, Sammy, we're going to have to talk about this. So, Brian, can we talk about my favorite deck right now?
Let's talk about it.
So, Sammy, if I was going to an event this weekend, that is exactly the deck I would bring. That is 110%. Froslass Monkey Dory is the deck I have been playing, and it is wildly better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I needed to take the glasses off. It's just for dramatic effect. But, like, it's so good. And so, Brian, do you know how this deck works?
Kind of. It's just like one of those decks that it takes advantage of Badoo really well because, you're item locking your opponent constantly and you don't really need too much setup. You pretty much just need like a bunch of Monkey Dories with energies on them and you need the Frostlasses so you can get the upticks of damage on your board and you end up moving it onto your opponent's board to take multi-prize turns.
Yes. And so I was actually going to ask Bryce to pull up a picture for this a little bit later if you don't mind taking a look, Bryce. It's the Froslass Monkey Dory. It's, I think, 19th place in EUIC, something like that. But no, you are – love the tenderism. Yes. But no, you're exactly right, Brian. So Badoo, incredibly good attacker, only does 10 damage, but item locking is a big deal for free. Froslass, 90 HP, stage 1, has the ability, but it places 1 damage counter on every Pokemon that has an ability in between turns, except for Froslass.
Yep, definitely.
And so when you combine that with Monkey Dory on your board, your Monkey Dories take damage each turn, but then you get to move it. And so many low HP Pokemon are in the game right now, especially with Pokepad. So other Monkey Dories, you can apply more pressure than they can handle. Dracloak, Gardevoir EX, Pheasantipity, like so many decks are Noctowl decks, Teal Mask Ogerpon, so many things. Yes, Bryce, thank you.
Yeah.
This is a list, and was it 19th place?
Something like that.
Okay. I'm just making sure I quote the right. And who is it from? Oh, if you scroll down. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure to give credit where credit is due.
It was 19th.
Okay, 19th. So, and what was the name of the player?
Vincent Monk.
So, Vincent Monk, credit to you, man. This deck is so set up to be good into the new meta. And so, Brian, we were talking a little bit about it. Like, Monkey's super strong. Froslass is very good ability. But you just get to apply so much pressure without having to expend resources on attackers.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the cool part about it is, along with the 3 Badoos, the one of Frillish is a really cool one, just because if you're into matchups that can really take advantage of that 30 HP like health on the Badoo, you could just use the Frillish instead, and it has way more HP, and you can definitely like work the damage counters around it so much better.
And the Bravery Charm's a big piece of that too, because so Jewish Kid, goodness, you guys are on the game.
Yeah.
So there are a couple updates for this deck coming out of Ascended Heroes. And Brian, what are your thoughts on those? What could be a good fit in here?
A good fit in here, especially if you're going into like something like, I feel like a good fit for a deck like this would be a Retreat Locker.
And so Sudowoodo does fill that role, and it can be a good retreat locker, especially because you play 6 energy that allow it to do that.
Definitely. And besides that, though, I was kind of thinking one of the other retreat lockers, though, like something like the Veltal, just because of like I feel like the dark energy synergy could have been pretty good for it, but yeah.
Oh, dude, Sammy, I will so take a look at that when I have a moment. So I agree. I think Yveltal could be good. Maractus could really fit in here.
Yeah.
The only issue is at a certain point, your Froslass apply too much pressure to your own board.
Yeah.
So one of the cards that's been talked about that I think is a good inclusion, one is Pokepad.
Yeah,
Pokepad fits in everything. So now, rather than having to play an Ultra Ball, having to play Nest Balls, you can just play Pokepads to get whatever out of your deck.
Yeah, definitely. I do like that as well.
The 2 Devo is amazing. The other card that's really good coming out of Ascended Heroes is Mega Froslass.
Oh, yeah.
So do you know what Mega Froslass does?
No, I pulled the card, but I don't know what it does.
That's totally fair. I'm going to take it from you. It's a great card. So it's actually not a great card. I digress. So Mega Froslass, stage 1, 310 HP, gives up 3 prizes. Its first attack's really the only one we care about. For a single water energy, it does 50 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. Sammy, I actually disagree. I think Mega Froslass is one of the missing pieces to have this deck be really good. And so I think Jewish Kid just mentioned the Absol Box matchup. So into Absol Box, things that play a bunch of monkeys or play big attackers, and Brian, you can kind of see there's not a lot of ways to do direct damage here.
Yeah, definitely.
And so having a way to reach a one-shot on a 3-prize Pokemon is insane, especially when it's not a liability.
Yeah, definitely, especially when it's also something that just evolves into a Pokemon you would be using anyways, too.
And that's exactly it. You can get 3 Snow down pretty easily, put 2 into the Froslass that pings damage, and then you don't have to put down a 2 or 3-prizer until you're taking a big one-shot on a 3-prizer.
Yeah, definitely.
And exactly, a single Mega Froslass is really all you need. So, Brian, any other thoughts on this deck?
I feel like this deck is definitely very underrated, and I feel like, I feel like it's a really good one as well. I don't know. Part of me thinks that this deck could definitely get punished by Dragapult very easily, but at the same time, it's like if you just beat Dragapult before it could win.
And so that
could be the tech, right?
Listen, I had like 2 more points to make with this deck, and you absolutely hit on one of them. So the issue with Dragapult is you have to apply more pressure than they can apply.
Yeah.
And you have to use Devo effectively to stop them from evolving. But there is one other card that we don't see in here that could be included. And I don't know if you heard us talking about it.
Which one?
Ting-Lu.
Oh, yeah, I did see that in the chat. Yeah, Ting-Lu.
So Ting-Lu is not Ting-Lu EX, just regular Ting-Lu. And I think it was Mr. Monk or someone else has been working on a Metafy about this. So if you guys are interested, go find that, check that out. They're the geniuses behind this. But Ting-Lu is actually used in Gym Leader Challenge right now, but is 140 HP, fighting type. For 1 fighting energy, does 30 damage. Or if there's a stadium in play, you discard the stadium and do 30 to everything.
Yeah, okay.
And so Dragapult can play around Froslass by like evolving 1 Dracloak at a time and evolving up to Dragapult quickly.
Yeah.
But if you just yeet 180 damage onto their board and have Froslass's pinging, and you can Devo, that is so much pressure for them to try to handle.
Definitely.
So I would say Sammy's absolutely right. Dragapult can be tough, but it can also be very, very winnable. I mean, honestly, the only bad matchup for this deck I've found is Grimmsnarl.
Oh, yeah, Grimmsnarl for sure. Yeah, just because it feels like it's just a bigger version of this current deck. And it's one that, like, along with just doing a lot more damage, can also put a lot more damage onto the board as well.
They can. And the biggest issue is...
He has a big body, too.
Pakalaka, thank you for joining. Oh, good luck in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's super cool.
But that's also where Froslass, Mega Froslass helps, because if you one-shot a Grimmy,
yeah,
you're going to be in a really good spot.
Definitely.
And Bryce is currently working through our TV issues here, which is fun.
I feel like it's fine for these types of situations just because...
don't move.
Just because right now when we're just talking, we don't have anything to commentate over, so...
That is true.
Yeah, that's very true, so we'll do a little...
We're just going to do a little IT here.
Yeah,
That's
a little
fine.
bit of...
On the other side?
On the other side.
So, Brian, as we're kind of looking at this, we have a couple other... Oh, we got a bunch of people yapping. Talk to the yappers.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what we're looking at. So, Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo's looking good. Worst matchups for this deck if you don't play Baby...
Yes, Triple Monkey Dory is terrifying.
Yeah, definitely. And good luck, Pakalaka. Hope the weekend goes well in Puerto Rico.
And Isaac, great to see you, man. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you said you'd drive up to Chicago. We'd obviously love to see you, but who, buddy, would that be a commute? Jungle Dumping, also, weirdly enough, excellent matchup for this deck.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys know the big secret is out that would be the deck I would be playing if I was going to Puerto Rico or Houston or something like that. Dude, the deck is sick.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Brian, aside from that amazing Froslass deck, like, what would you be playing if you went to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, if I was going, it'd probably just be either like Zoroark or Dragapult, just because I feel like those are the only two decks I actually have time on. I would probably lean towards Zoroark because that's the only thing I've played this week. But Dragapult, I would always consider just because of comfort as well. So those are probably the two that I would really consider. Yeah.
And I think that's a good pick. Dragapult is so good. Like, it's just still good, and now it has additional search and consistency.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like, too, like, I wanted to pick a deck for this format that's going to transition well into next format as well, like the rotation format. So I just wanted to have something, like, in the back that I can kind of play like that.
Yeah. And I think that makes sense. If you're not worried about, like, calling the meta correctly, just play a deck that sets you up to one trick for a couple months.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's the route that I really want to put myself on the next, like, rest of this season going into next season is just picking one and just, like, going with it because I don't have the time to test a million different decks anymore. So I definitely need to have the just put the time into one and then just focus on that kind of mentality.
I agree.
Yeah.
And Sammy, the Grim idea to pseudo their monkey, that to me is cope.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get cooked.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joltik Dengo, always an interesting one.
Yeah. Oh, and good. We got Elias on the next round here.
And Elias is someone we want to talk to after this round because
fresh off of day 2.
His very first day 2, which is incredible.
Definitely. So super hyped to see another one of our locals finally cross that day 2 off of the checklist. So Elias did it this past weekend in Seattle. So we're going to see Elias playing the Tera box here, going first against Alfredo's Pnoir. So we're going to kind of see where we're at here. We have a pretty decent start here.
Oh, we have a really good start because we have an out to fan rotom. To be honest, we probably get rid of this Ditto.
Yeah, definitely.
And Elias's hair is looking fresh as hell.
Definitely.
I would agree with that.
Definitely.
So then, Brian, what is Elias's plan here?
Yeah, so, I mean, we already get the fan rotom here, so the fan rotom's going to lead to that double Hoot Hoot and Noctowl route here. And it's nice, though, that we don't even need to use the Ditto here. We can actually use it, I would think, as discard fodder with the Earthen Vessel here. And we can use it to start getting some of that energy onto that Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. So we can set up the big Torrential Pump play next turn.
I completely agree. I also agree that if you look good, you feel good, and it's just going to help you perform better.
Definitely. So I was looking through that search here, and I was really hoping we have that water energy. We do have one water energy there, so the Torrential Pump play should be able to happen here, barring no weird disruption plays going into the next turn. So we're going to be putting that attachment onto the Ogerpon, and we'll be passing it on to Alfredo here, who's going to be starting off with the Dreepy into the Buddy Buddy Poffin, and very, very shiny deck on Alfredo's side here. Glad he's on the left side today so that, we don't have the complete shine here on the other side. But really good idea from Alfredo here to go with the triple Dreepy play, just because I feel like when you're playing against Tera Box and you don't get 3 down, that's just asking for a gust double Dreepy knockout play here. So we're going to see the Ultra Ball come out here, and it looks like we're going to be looking for a Dracloak.
So, Kenny, I actually don't know of any Tera box that are playing Pelipper, though it is definitely an interesting inclusion.
Okay.
But we do see, like you said, Brian, Alfredo get the Dracloak out. I mean, it's good to have that available for next turn because there is a non-zero chance 2 of these Dreepy are going to die this turn.
Definitely, for sure. So we're going to see that Dracloak come down here, and, man, those arts are just so pretty.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Definitely, definitely.
It's also artistically pretty, not just like over the top.
Definitely. Yeah, I really like those arts a lot. It's like I haven't blinged out a deck fully in a while, and I feel like Dragapult would be the one to do. So we're going to see the Crispin come out here now. We're going to get those 2 energies attached over to the Ogerpon here.
And I think one of the issues is that Elias currently does not have access to his pink card.
Yeah.
So we can't just go Boss Energy Crystal. But to be honest, that's also fine because it means we have both of our Hootoos and Noctiles available later.
Yeah, definitely. So super solid play already here that we took out one of the Dreepy with the energy, and we also took out the and the Budew as well. So we're going to be saved from the item lock for a little bit here.
Which is good. There is a chance that Alfredo hits what he needs to retreat and go back into a Budew. But even if we do, we're in a tough spot.
Yeah, definitely. So being able to have double Dracloak here is pretty solid. Just because we'll be able to at least try to see if we can draw ourselves out of this jam here. But wondering what we're really going to need. Ooh, the Iono's going to be pretty good here. I really like this Iono just because along with like the jamming tower, it's going to make it really hard for Elias to follow up with this crazy high pressure play.
Well, to your point, I actually would have really liked to see that jamming tower come down.
Yeah, I would have liked to see it too, just because it's going to turn off the pink card and all this other stuff here. Looks like we have the Fez and we have an energy.
And Jewish Kid, I actually would agree. It ended up not mattering, but I think I would have liked to see Alfredo use the first recon directive before evolving the active Dreepy, because there was a chance that he just saw Latias off of that and could retreat for free into whatever he needed.
Yeah, definitely. I do like that as well.
All right, so we do get a 3rd Dreepy down, so we're in a good spot. But, I mean, Brian, where does Alfredo go from here?
Yeah, so, I mean, we're going to be able to use the Luminous Energy to attach and go into the Budew here soon, but it looks like we're going to take the next Dracloak here instead.
Are we just saying we're not going to put any skulls down?
I guess that's the play here. I was kind of hoping we were going to take that Buddy Poffin, but I guess I can't be too mad about it anyways.
No, I think this is still fine. We did get 2 Dracloak down. Elias is not going to be able to easily gust and take 2 prizes on Dracloaks. Yeah. And in fact, I think we're just going to sob here.
Yeah, looks like it. And see, like, I think, do we have Noctowl in hand?
I don't think we do.
Okay.
And are you thinking getting the Vitality Band?
No, I was looking into potentially seeing if we had the Noctowl and could have grabbed like the pink card potentially, but
oh, thank you, Alfredo, for that.
Yeah,
yes,
using the big dice. But it looks like we are just going to go for the Sob here.
So now this is actually really, really good for Elias because Alfredo can't use Fez. We are going to draw with Cloak. But Elias could have an opportunity to knock out 2 Cloak next turn.
Yeah.
And Alfredo can knock out this Water Pond, but odds are not high.
Yeah, it's not looking too good right now, but we'll see. We will see. So we're going to grab the Iono off the 2nd recon here. 3rd recon's coming down.
And even though I hate it to be true, this would be the perfect time for a Hilda.
Yeah, definitely would be. But looks like we're going to evolve into the Dragapult here. And we're going to be putting that Luminous, I would think, down. Eyeing the Turo, though. I don't know how I feel about that.
I know how I feel about that. What would we even be Turoing?
Yeah, if we Turo the Budew, that sounds like a terrible idea in my opinion. But yeah, I like this better. Just play the Iono. Just limit the amount of resources that Elias could have in hand at one time here, and then get yourself 6 more cards here, and potentially put yourself in a position to where you can just punish harder in this next turn. And the counter catcher is pretty solid here too, because that can put that Hoot Hoot into play as well, and require some extra resources out of Elias in order to get that next torrential pump out.
I agree. And Mo, you are exactly correct. Alfredo's deck is beautiful.
The arts are just so nice on that, especially with all the new ones as well. We have that new Fez as well that I kind of just noticed. The Badoo and the whole Dragapult line as well. Definitely doesn't come cheap.
No. And so Elias is in a bit of a tricky position because we can retreat and hit with Sob, but we don't want to.
Yeah, we don't. Just because we want to be able to take advantage of like a crazy multi-prize turn here, but it looks like we're not going to be able to right now.
We are set up to do so next turn, though.
Yeah, next turn we are, but we don't even know what's going to happen next turn. Next turn, like, we could lose, like, a lot of the stuff here just because of Alfredo finally almost being able to Phantom Dive here.
Okay, so, Brian, can you tell me what the good play is, and can you tell me what the funny play is?
The good play and the funny play. I don't even know if I know what either of those could be.
So, I think the good play was just attached to Water Pond Pass.
Yeah.
The funny play would be to take your, 90% chance to triple stab and knock out the buddy.
Yeah.
Because Elias has got to feel pretty confident Alfredo's going to hit what he needs.
Yeah.
We're seeing 4 additional cards with Cloak. We already had 8 cards in hand. I would have really liked to see that Buddy get knocked out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you might as well try.
Especially because you play Briar. So going down to 3 prizes is fine if you give yourself a chance to respond.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see. It looks like we're going to go with... I think we're trying to see if we're going to want to go... Oh, interesting.
I don't know if Alfredo plays Briar.
I'm kind of interested to see why we ended up just not playing the Lily here instead.
So the other thing I'm interested in is why didn't we attach to Water Pond last turn rather than retreat to Hoot Hoot? Any ideas?
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem like something I would know either. But looks like we're just going to attach and pass again.
That doesn't seem correct.
Definitely.
All right, so we got the fire.
Yep.
And then we got the Neo Uppy. So for those watching at home, sequencing.
Yeah, sequencing for sure.
Make all of your decisions or gain all your information before you make irreversible decisions.
Yep, we were just talking about that earlier, too.
We were, yes, absolutely, when we were playing before.
Definitely.
Elmo, we love you.
Elmo
Thank you for joining.
Thanks, Elmo.
And yes, I agree, Munoz. I think it should have been a triple stab with Hoot Hoot.
Yeah, definitely.
As silly as that sounds. Especially now if Alfredo's going to bench a Duskull.
Yeah.
If you had gone down to 3 prizes, you were so close to just winning the game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so then, Brian, is it as simple as just Phantom Dive here?
Looks like it, yeah.
So what do you think about that decision?
Yeah, I kind of like it, especially knowing that we do have the Neo Uppies in hand as well, just because if we do find some cheeky way to take out this Dragapult, we're just going to be ready with the next one.
It's not Vertigo. I actually really don't like the dual mat. I prefer just the regular mat. I don't know about you.
I like the regular mats as well, but unfortunately, I like the colors of the dual mats. They have
is very
They
fair.
have this new like Sakura pink dual mat, and the color is just so nice.
Ooh.
I bought a couple boxes of them just because I just like the color too much. The shuffle doesn't last as long on them, which I don't really like. That's the whole reason why I don't like the dual mats.
The corners just break so quickly.
That's the even worse part too. The corners break a lot easier as well. But I don't know. I'm just a sucker for pink sleeves, and I like that Sakura pink a lot.
I get it.
Yeah.
On my end, I will say I actually really want to try out the new silver dual mat. And to be clear,
Yeah.
I ain't sponsored by anybody that sells sleeves.
Yeah,
So it's
we would
more
like
just my own
to.
opinion. Yeah, I'd like to. So Dragon Shield, FCBC, whoever's listening,
Yeah.
I'm a free agent for sleeves. Not for Nerd Rage. I love Nerd Rage. But back onto topic. Yeah, I want to see the silver ones.
Yeah, the silver ones look cool too. They have that new one with like the silver front. Too.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
All right, so back to the game. Elias has drawn a bunch of cards. We have a Noctowl in hand. We have Iron Leaves in hand. What we don't have is a Tera Pokemon.
I know, and that's the tough part. We need that Tera Pokemon now.
So I believe Elias is still playing Crispin. The issue is if Elias does Crispin to a Clefairy and go in and knock out this Dragapult, he is simply a Neo Uppy and a Dragapult away from losing the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Which also makes me question, why did we go into Fan Rotom?
I know, and the Fan Rotom is it's just not, I didn't feel like the right thing to do just because we had no like stadium or anything like that, so it couldn't have taken the extra prize even if we wanted to.
Drushkin, honestly, I know less than nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh, so I am a one game kind of guy.
Yeah, definitely same with myself. The thing I do like about Yu-Gi-Oh is I do like their playmat culture. They have like, and their like accessory culture.
Is it really nice?
Yeah, they just have like a lot of cool like accessories and stuff like that. That's how I got into like the cloth mats and stuff like that. Because a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh players use those and like the cool little deck boxes and all that stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely what I've been liking from them.
Also, I feel like I'm a little like buzzing today or something because I just had a coffee at like 6 p.m. and whoo, buddy, we are feeling that caffeine.
Definitely kicked in. Yeah.
Yes. Dusclops, Rotom, Hawlucha, Blood. Yeah, that is actually true. That would work too.
That would win it, but I feel like with Alfredo's current hand, he has Neo Uppies, and I think he has Dragapult in hand as well.
He does literally have game in hand.
I think he has Hawlucha in hand as well. I don't think we don't need the Hawlucha though.
We don't need anything except for what's in hand. But
as long as
as
long as we keep the hand, that's all we really need. And I'm pretty sure we're going to keep the hand anyways.
So one thing Elias can do is if we still had access to Earthen Vessel, we could go in, Teal Dance, attach Psychic Fairy, E-Switch, Iono.
Yeah.
However,
it doesn't seem like we are going to be able to.
I don't think so. And that's unfortunate because I do think Elias is in a very, very difficult position unless we use Chi and Pow to clear the Fan Rotom from the board.
That would be a pretty big-brained play.
And I think that may be the out to make this happen.
Could be. So we're going to play the Ultra Ball now. Are we going to grab the Chen Pao?
I mean, that has to be the move here, right?
It's got to be.
I mean, that's a brilliant move by Elias to put himself back into a winning position.
Yeah, especially. But, I mean, we need to see that we have all the energies first, too. Yeah, we have the energies needed for this attack here.
So we do have it with Crispin, but we're going to want to be able to draw.
That's true, and we also want to be able to disrupt as well.
So
there's so many things we want to do this turn.
I know, and honestly, I don't even know what we want to sob, because I think sobbing is unfortunately also not a winning play for Elias.
Yeah, no.
Unless he's able to lock down Fez or something for many, many turns.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, Brian, what I see as a possibly winning play is if you clear Fan Rotom from the board and take a knockout with Lily's Clefairy, Alfredo does not have an easy way to win the game.
Yeah, definitely. It will pretty much rely on him just drawing, like, I mean, definitely just needing Gust. Gust would have to be the play.
Gust would have to be the play.
Yeah.
All right, so unfortunately, we do see almost everything we need.
Yep.
We see the retreat. We see the Lily's Clefairy. And
we're going to see the knockout onto the Dragapult here.
And now Alfredo somehow has bought his way back into this game with Pult Neo Uppy taking the game.
There we go.
All right, so honestly, Elias, I know you're freaking out. Latios didn't matter there.
Yeah.
Did Latios matter there?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
All right, so we have a second game going on, and yet again, Zoroark versus my man playing Cynthia's Garchomp.
Yeah.
So, Brian, what is happening?
So we have a Spiritomb in play.
We do know what the Spiritomb does.
I know the Spiritomb does a lot of damage.
That is correct.
If there's, I think it's like if there's like a lot of damage on the board or something like that.
So it does 10 damage for every damage counter on your bench Cynthia's Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. So that thing could definitely dish a beating, based off of all that damage that's possibly on that Cynthia's Garchomp on the bench.
And it also, thank you for the dice.
Yep.
Also, we have that Cynthia's Roserade, which means the Spiritomb does 30 more damage to your opponent's Pokemon, which is pretty sick.
And the cool thing too is that the Cynthia's deck also has ways of putting extra HP on the Pokemon as well with that with the tool.
Yes.
I forgot the name of the tool, but the tool puts extra HP in play, and it makes an already big 2-prize EX Pokemon even bigger. So
because I mean, 330 is good.
yeah,
400.
400 is it feels like that should be a 3-prizer at that point almost. But
it's not Vertigo. We are based out of Buffalo Grove, Illinois, which is a northwest suburb of Chicago.
Yeah.
So I live in the city, and it takes me about 30 minutes to get out here.
Interesting. Yeah.
Sammy, I don't think you go wrong with either. I think Froslass Monkey, you're going to have more of an advantage on people not knowing how to play it and just a little more control over the game.
Yep.
Everybody going to be tech for Pnoir, but if you're asking me which is the better overall deck, Pnoir is a better overall deck.
Definitely. And I feel like with Pnoir, despite all the hate on the deck that's been printed over the time that it's been legal, it's still such a solid deck. I mean, like they printed the Psyduck that's supposed to be in play to make the Dusknoir line like super hard to play around. The Battle Cage. The Battle Cage just makes it seems like it's like a direct counter printed for this Dragapult deck as well. But despite all of those things, the deck is just still like a tier 1 deck, and it seems to be the big bad going into rotation as well. So, I mean, all these things we kind of have to think about as really big things here. So, not too much commentary on the game right now. We're trying to figure out what's going on the monitor. So, we're trying to just talk about both decks here that are being played as much as I can while we're figuring this part out.
And so here's the thing. I can't actually be blamed for this because it is not me doing something bad. I promise.
I know. We're not even touching it, but
I know.
It's crazy.
Sounds good.
Our monitor
Take the HDMI out.
Looking like it's not too good right now, but hopefully we have a way out of this right now with this
one?
Little one. This new little monitor that we're putting over here. I'm trying to watch it from the computer over here. It seems like it's Ryan's turn now. And I think Ryan is starting to draw cards as well. Looks like he's using the Zekrom attack to knock out something that's in the active right now.
Listen,
it's kind of minimal, like minimized.
If anyone was questioning whether or not this is a true professional stream, it's not.
It's not. No, by far, this is not a professional stream at all, but we try our best.
All right, so Brian, you and I are just going to stand here and watch this game for a little bit.
It's kind of like how like sports commentators.
No, we're just going to be the football commentators, just standing here.
Yeah,
this
we
is
just
great.
stand. It's honestly better for our. It's probably better for us anyways to be standing up anyways because we don't want to develop any sort of blood clots or anything.
Yeah,
like
there you go.
So,
exactly. All right, so we are getting back into the game. So Ryan did make an excellent decision to actually go in and gust and knock out that Garchomp with damage on the bench because it really prevents Lupe from being able to do enough damage with that Spiritomb.
Yeah, definitely. So this Zoroark here, it's going to be in knockout range for the next turn, but let's see how we're going to be able to respond here.
So it does have 160 damage on it. Hold on. I'm going to go yell at Ryan to put the right dice on. But Brian, talk us through this turn.
Yeah, so we have a second Zoroark coming down here, and we're going to be putting down... And then it looks like we're going to be trading away the Artisan as well. So the Artisan is going to get us a Night Stretcher. I think it's a Night Stretcher. Let's see what else we got here.
Bryce, can you just throw the comments up on like that screen somewhere so we can see it?
Yeah. You know what? I think I might open the stream from my phone, too, so I can also read them.
Well, so I want to make sure we get both from YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'll be able to watch the Twitch comments.
You know what? I'll just pull up the YouTube one. That's fine.
Might as well, right?
Yeah, there you go. This is great. So we're just going to like boost our own stream by a view count. Fantastic.
That was literally what I was about to say, too.
You know, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. It's great. It's great.
Good. This is good for us, right?
I know. This is so good. Listen, we are flexible and deal with shenanigans.
Yep.
So, Alejandro, because we are actually catching up, Pokeball, I get wanting to play these both. They're really cool. We did get the bigger dice out. And then Alejandro, there actually are a bunch of leagues in the Chicagoland area. So for actual tournaments in Chicago proper, there's Logan Arch is in Bucktown, Wicker Park area, right by me. Great place. There's Water Tower Gamers World in, surprisingly enough, Water Tower Place. And there aren't a ton others in true downtown Chicago, except for Good Games off Webster.
I was about to say, like, Good Games, I feel like is one of the best ones. They have an awesome community out there, and they also have an awesome GLC community as well.
Yes, they do, which their GLC community is on Thursday, which is unfortunate because they are literally a 25-minute walk from my home.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I would love to go there to play, but I kind of like hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And so just watching the comments here on Twitch, what are we hearing, Brian?
Yeah, so Vertigo is mentioning been playing Pult since Regidrago, and it's funny because when Regidrago was a deck, that was pretty much what Dragapult was, because it was pretty much copying Dragapult the entire time. So it was pretty much what Dragapult was before Pult became its own deck.
Which is crazy, because it was the best user of Dragapult, and then it rotated, thank God.
Definitely.
So we are seeing Ryan take another knockout here to go down to 3 prizes. And, I mean, that's really good, even though Lupe's about to respond and go down to 1.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see. We're going to see the Garchomp get promoted here. Let's see what we go from.
So we have Buddy Poffin. We're able to set up a few more Gibbles and the like. The benefit Lupe has is if he knocks out this Zoroark, Ryan's going to peak at about 290 damage, and that is not enough to get through a Garchomp EX.
Unfortunately, not enough.
Well, fortunately for Lupe.
Yeah,
unfortunately for Ryan.
Yeah, unfortunately for Ryan, for sure.
So then, if you're Lupe, Brian, what are you doing here? I see the Hilda come down.
Yeah, I kind of like this as like a potential setup play, just in case we do see another knockout coming down from Ryan's side. Just being able to have that Gabite come down is really good, because it's pretty much his own search engine, and being able to kind of get your next attacker kind of set up here is also a good idea as well. And I mean, we pretty much have the rest of the board set up. We have 2 of those Roserades as well, and we have that Spiritomb in the back pocket to kind of think about as well as on the board too.
So, Steven, did we attack with the same Zoroark twice? Did we use the second attack from Zekrom twice?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think we caught that, only because of the whole monitor fiasco. Yeah, because we were kind of like watching it from the computer that's to our right, and not from like the monitor in front of us.
Let's check in with Ryan after that.
Yeah.
I would love to interrupt and say that, but I don't actually know if that is true.
Yeah.
So I'm hesitant to mess anything up too much.
Definitely.
So then, Brian, how does Ryan respond here? Because it seems like there are dire times.
Yeah, this is really tough on Ryan's side here, just because I mean, there's no real easy way to go about this. I mean, we have the Petch here.
So, I mean, Petch one-shots the Garchomp.
Yeah, but Petch also needs 2 energies, right?
It does. So we can use N's PP up and then an E-switch or something.
But the PP up is only for the N's Pokemon, isn't it?
It does. But if you can slap it on the Zoroark, use an E-switch, manually attach, and we already have a couple energy down.
Yeah, I don't know if... Is Ryan playing E-switch, though? I feel like a lot of the Zoroark decks have kind of been moving away from E-switch. I feel like they should be playing E-switch as well, because of the synergy with Monkey Dory.
So I would tend to agree, and I don't know if all the lists going forward are going to have it, but yeah, it just seems like such a good inclusion.
Yeah, definitely.
Since Zoroark is one of the best abusers of Monkey Dory. Not this turn, because we are just going to use Fez here.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have Black Belt.
Yeah, Black Belt is going to be what kind of gets us over that hump.
So Black Belt, Mochi, Pecharunt will do enough to knock out that Garchomp.
Yeah.
And then Lupe's going to have to respond somehow.
Yeah, then this is going to put Lupe on the ropes here.
It is. And Ryan then is in a possibly winning position after this.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go into that. We're going to poison ourselves into the retreat. The Black Belt is going to kick in, and we will be taking that knockout.
And Lupe here is going, sweet child of mine.
I know,
How is my Garchomp dying right now?
Definitely, definitely. So it seems like, I feel like the only way we can take this this game off on Lupe's side is if we play like Rare Candy.
And that, I think it's going to be it. It's Rare Candy or something like Blood Moon or some other crazy modifier.
Definitely.
Because right now, there is no damage on Lupe's board to boost that Spiritomb's damage.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't look too good right now. So we're going to draw for turn. We're going to evolve into the Gabite.
So the problem here is that is not a Garchomp.
It's not a Garchomp, unfortunately. We can't go into the Garchomp now.
And so we have the Garchomp in hand. We don't, or excuse me, Lupe does not have any way to draw cards. Lupe does not have any way to gust. But if we did have a gust, holy, if we have a gust, we actually win.
Yeah.
Do you see the line?
I'm not seeing the line yet. Does
So-
it have to do with the Roserade?
It does, because
Yeah.
the Roserades each add 30 damage. So Lupe is currently doing 100 damage
Yeah.
with that Gabite, plus the power tablet in hand would be
Yeah.
130. That is enough
That's
to
enough
kill
for a
either
Zekrom.
Fez or Pecharunt.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we kill Fez or Pecharunt, too, because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
weak to dark.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
But the question is, do we have a Gust available? And if not, is there any way to go get it? No! Lupe just scoops it up and says,
Yeah.
homie, I got nothing.
Yeah. Tough. But big on Ryan for figuring out a way to get that big knockout, though.
Yes, agreed. And I think you guys may have been right. Ryan may have cheesed a knockout there, so we'll have to ask about that.
Yeah.
And Brian, we should definitely talk to Elias.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So let me do this. I'm going to let you talk to Elias.
Yeah.
I'm going to go chat with Ryan, pull Elias in here, and then
Yeah.
can you just talk a little bit about, like, why getting your first day 2 such a huge
Yeah,
deal?
Definitely. Let's go grab him real quick, and then let's see how does the camera look from here. No camera? What was that? You have to fix it? Okay, cool. It's all right. Maybe we'll just do the interview with Elias while this screen is up here. It's gonna be a little sketchy. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Alrighty. It's kind of a weird setup right now. As you can kind of see, we're having some technical difficulties, but you know, put the headphones on and we'll kind of get started. So, Elias, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Hello. So, congrats on getting your first day 2.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it must be a good feeling to finally get over that hump of you know, traveling, doing all these events, getting that day 2. How does it feel?
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my first competitive season.
Yeah.
And this is my 5th regional.
Okay,
So
okay.
My big goal for this year was
Yeah.
to make a day 2. I
Yeah.
knew I was gonna have like enough frequency of events.
Yeah.
It was just kind of whether or not I would pull it together.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is the first time this year I've played the same 60 to 2 events back to back. I played the
Okay.
same 60 to Toronto.
Yeah.
And boy, what a difference does it make.
Yeah,
To like
definitely.
just lock in on a deck and play it for more than one event in a row.
Yeah,
Just, like,
definitely. So, what were kind of the things that went into your prep for the event, and how did those translate into the actual regional itself?
Yeah, so I started playing this 60 of Goldengo. I played the Josh Frink 60 from
Yeah.
Merida. I discovered this deck actually originally because of Tera Box.
Yeah.
I wanted to play Tera Box, and there was so much Watchtower in the format.
Yeah.
And so I ended up getting coaching from Josh Frink, and
He's
he
a great
kind of
guy.
started talking to me
Yeah.
about the Goldengo 60, and that's kind of how I transitioned from there.
Definitely.
After Toronto, I just stuck with the deck, you know, playing local events, cups and challenges. I try to get in as much live as I can, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
obviously, you know, that's life. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes
I know.
live sucks.
Being adults kind of tough sometimes.
That's also very real.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of like coming to locals and local events, and that's really where most of my prep went in. And of course, guides. You know, I bought his Metafy,
Yeah.
and that gave access to like this is the first time I ever bought something that had like a Discord attached to it. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so being able to like ask questions on the Discord
Yeah.
and consult people who have a lot more hours than me, just kind of expedites some of that testing. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. And outside of that, then it kind of transitions into my next question. Besides, like, you know, like the guides and stuff like that, how else are you kind of testing and stuff like that? Are you playing a lot on live? Is it like a lot in person, kind of 50-50? Like, what would you say majority of your playing is actually like in person or online?
Vast majority is in person.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like my brain works so much better
Yeah,
in person.
definitely.
We scheduled a couple like in-person events with people who I was staying with.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to like hang out and run games. And of course, like we all have a bunch of decks, you know,
Yeah.
so we can like play other stuff.
For sure,
which is good. And then I'm like a massive like locals grinder, like just like every weekend, like 45 minutes or less,
Okay.
I'm there.
Let's see if we
it's a
can sit
cup
down
or
now. Are we good to
a
try the
challenge.
camera? Let's try it out. Let's see if the camera works. Oh,
Oh, you can see
wait.
some of it.
You can see something. I don't know. You can see the top of
Whoa.
Elias's head, I
That's
think.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh, you can see my hand there.
Whoa.
All right. Well, I don't know if that's going to work for now. Anyways.
All is good. Yeah. Just cups and challenges and
yeah.
like driving to local events. I
Good.
mean, on my weekends, that's like what I do. Just like every weekend. So.
Yeah, definitely. So, I guess moving on, now that you have gotten that goal for the season, what's next?
Yeah. I've got a few more events left in me this year.
Yeah.
Houston, Indianapolis, NAIC are all coming up.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm going to play at any of these events, but I do know that my goal is just to do it again.
Yeah.
I think a big thing for my first year is trying to be consistent, and doing it once is cool and all. Doing it twice, I think, proves that it's not a fluke.
Yeah, definitely.
And that'll be a good feeling too.
Yeah, for sure. So how does this affect like your goals for like the rest of this season and going into like next season? Are you going to try to like aim a little bit higher? Are you going to just go to the next step? Are you going to like put your goals through the roof? Are you going to think worlds? Like what are you kind of thinking now?
Well, we'll see. I mean, my life's going to be changing a lot. I'm gonna be paying rent pretty soon.
Yeah,
it's going to be its own hill to climb.
Definitely.
But I would say, I think this season I let myself have as much fun as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
And I played a bunch of different decks, and I was just trying to enjoy the experience every time.
Yeah.
I think next season, one thing I'm going to try to implement is I'm going to try to become a master of one kind of player.
Yeah, definitely.
And pick something up that I can. No, seriously, I love playing different decks. It's like variety is so fun to me, but also I think like sticking to one deck in this next format after rotation especially, and just really grinding and getting on my game and knowing everything, like that was the difference maker I felt for this event, was playing the same 60 more than one tournament in a row.
You know, it's funny too, because I feel like that comes from our League of Legends background. You want to have you like having a champion pool as well as you like having a lot of decks that you know how to play. So that's definitely been something that I've been trying to figure out as well, is just trying to be like that master of one, because like in League of Legends, you know, being a one trick isn't really the greatest. It's an easy way to climb,
right?
But it's not like the way to be like a solid player.
Sure.
But when you're thinking about this, you know, one deck can really take you a long way. So
absolutely,
that's definitely the way to kind of think about it, for sure. So and now I guess the last question I'll ask you is, thinking about rotation, you're going to be losing your deck.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you've kind of been looking at? I
mean, funny enough, I do not claim Goldengo. Like, I do not claim that. So I'm honestly not like too upset about the Goldengo leaving the meta. I'm actually really sad about Miraidon. Not that card is real, but that's like my favorite card. We'll see. I really like Tera Box. That's a deck that's just been so fun for me. I loved Pnoir in last rotation, and so it's like, no, it was so fun. And it was awesome. And so I'm like, oh my god, Torrential Pump. Oh my god, Torrential Pump. And Pokepad is crazy. It's so good. So I might give Tera Box a try. I think definitely just as something that's like a middle ground of like, there's some new stuff here, but it's also something I'm semi-comfortable with, and it maybe won't be as big of like a jump at first. For rotation, I think that's probably where I'll start. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. So thanks for joining us, Elias. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Congrats again for your next day too. And then let's see, make it to the next level.
Yeah, cool. That's the way. Thanks, guys.
Congrats, dude. That's sick. Hello, everyone. I did let Ryan know that he is a dirty, dirty cheater and is banned from the store forever. He did actually say, because we couldn't see it, though, you guys could see it, he did attack twice with the same Zoroark. He had Air Balloon in hand, so he could have retreated it. The issue was... That was true, but also that would have allowed Lupe to take a clean one-shot on a clean Zoroark, would force Ryan to use a damaged Zoroark for the next attack, and then with the Gabite, with the 2 Roserade and the Power Tab in hand,
oh, that was kind of scary.
we would have had the knockout, or excuse me, Lupe would have had the knockout and closed out the game. Definitely. So, like I said, Ryan is a cheater. We should ban him. I'm kidding. I talked to them both after it. They both like kind of talked through like, oh god, yes, it should have gone that way. But Lupe was an absolute gentleman about it. Ryan's a cool dude. Fully took accountability for it. And honestly, it's locals, man. It's why we play this stuff, to learn and figure out how to do this effectively at a higher level.
And so we don't make the mistake when it matters most.
100%. Listen, go 0-4 at locals and then go 6-1 at the regional. Yep. That is the trade-off.
That's the trade-off for sure.
Yeah, so Brian, did we learn anything new about how to make our first day twos?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of it is playing the same deck more than once.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a lot to add, and at the same time, I have nothing to add.
Yeah. It's like few words, but lots of meaning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why use many word when few word work?
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
So, sorry, I just had to throw the quote there. So we do have our next round coming up here in a second. And so, Brian, we've seen a bunch of Dragapult, a bunch of Zoroark. Of course, we saw a Bridge, because why wouldn't we?
Because why wouldn't we?
And then we saw Cynthia's Garchomp, because I love locals.
I know, right?
So what else do you want to see today?
I mean, we've kind of seen a little bit of everything so far. I'm kind of not too mad about this. I mean, if we saw Lucario, I think that'd be pretty cool.
I would not mind that.
I wouldn't mind at all, but I don't know if anyone here is Lucario player. Actually, no, I saw Troy come in here earlier, and I know he's been trying the Lucario a little bit.
Which, by the way, it's awesome to have Troy back. I miss him. It's been a while since we've seen him.
I think it's funny, too, because the last time I saw him, I totally forgot that he works at Woodfield Mall.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay, he said he's been working a ton.
Yeah, he's been working at the mall, and I remember just randomly walking into one of the stores one time when I was out with my girlfriend. I just, like, ran into him, and I was just like, oh, what a fun surprise. So, yeah, it's definitely cool to see, like, our locals, like, outside of the store. And
it's like a different world. You don't have Pokemon cards in your hand?
I know.
What are you doing out here?
I know, definitely. Yeah, we need to touch grass. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
We need to touch grass. I think Isaac also wants to see some grass decks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So it's possible we'll be jungle dumping. And better yet,
amazing.
Brian, I need to stress, this is not a good matchup for Festival League.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of baby Pokemon and a lot of baby Pokemon with not much HP on this board from Thor.
And they all have abilities.
Yeah, so they're going to get upticked with the Monkey Dory, and there's going to be some item locks done as well.
There are going to be some problems here.
There are going to be some.
Bulbatoast, I would not mind seeing a good Alakazam. That'd be pretty sick.
Definitely. Bucati, don't know to play for post-rotation. Well, hopefully we'll start playing some post-rotation soon here so we can start giving other people some ideas. But at least what I like to look at when it comes to early post-rotation stuff is the most recent Japanese deck or event.
Yes.
Yeah, just look at like the Champions League like deck lists and stuff like that. See what stuff kind of intrigues you and then kind of go from there.
And by the way, I love Thor's deck box because that is my exact deck box.
Yeah,
and I love that.
It's a very cool one. It's the art on that's awesome.
Dude, the Giratina on the inside is beautiful.
Definitely.
Vocati actually Fukuoka, excuse me, championships did have some really interesting results.
Yeah.
And Chaz, Festival Lead does not play Monkey Dory.
Yeah, so that's going to be very concerning for the side of the Festival Lead here. So we're going to see the E-Search come down on Roth's side. He's going to grab the Dark Energy.
What is in Roth's hand that we're doing that and then shuffling?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we have Iono and a monkey?
Maybe. Looks like we don't have it, period. Looks like we're just going to thin that card out of the hand, and we're just going to Iono.
Why do you think he's thinning that card?
I don't know, actually.
So my only thought is that he knows it is desperate times, and he has to set up, and so we're trying to just make sure that happens.
That's fair.
And to be honest, that's not really an ideal draw, so I get his point there.
Yeah. So, looks like we're going to be able to get double Snow Runt here.
Which is pretty good.
We have some Snow Runts. Okay, there we go. We have Snow Runts, which is good.
And something else coming from Ascended here is there are now 70 HP Snow Runs.
Yeah.
Which that is a big deal.
Definitely. I mean, unfortunately for our max rarity people, you won't be able to use the nice Snow Runt.
True.
But at least you have a 70 HP Snow Runt now, so you won't have to worry about being Phantom Dove.
And boy, is that a values-based decision.
Definitely.
Do I use the pretty one or the one that survives a Phantom
exactly
Dive?
Right. So we're going to put the Bravery Charm onto the Badoo here, and we're going to be item locking Thor here. So this next turn here doesn't look like we really have too much to work with. Seeking, we have... Is that a Diplin? I think we have a Diplin. But unfortunately, we don't really have the bench Pokemon to support that. Oh, and we cannot...
Oh, we cannot Ultra Ball.
There you go. Good, good.
So we do have a Goldeen to bench.
Yeah, a Goldeen.
We do have a Grookey.
Okay. We are so close, though.
And I think we actually Ultra Balled away a Festival Lead Stadium.
Yeah,
and wow. Sammy, I did see that you sent me a list. I am not going to lie to you. I do not have the mental capacity to read it while we're all talking here. So I'll definitely get back to you once we're done yapping.
Definitely.
Does 70 HP Snorunt have an IR?
Is that the... I was thinking about the one of the little Snow Run in the snow. I think that's Twilight Masquerade.
Yes. And Unimu, of course. I assume you're Soli's Abode, in which case, thank you for hosting me. It was awesome coming to hang out. Soli's Abode, we've done like a double cup weekend before in the past. Great place, beautiful store, lots of good food around there.
And just good, and solid people, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, their team is just a bunch of good dudes on there, so... we always like hanging out and working with the Sully's people.
Yeah, Joe, Brian, Connor, all great people.
Definitely.
And Mo is correct. And yeah, Mo and Sammy both saying there is one. It's just not as pretty.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know. So that Budu gets knocked out here, and we do get the Snow Run in the active here. Hilda's going to be put into play, and that's going to get us a Froslass and an Energy here.
And that's a big deal, both for the fact that we do start to do some Froslass pings, and we're also going to be able to retreat it out of the active.
Yeah, that's going to be the huge part about it as well, is being able to retreat here.
Snow has an art in Twilight and Ascended.
Oh, good to know.
Glad we're aligned on
I know. I'm going to have to see what this new Snow Run looks like now. I'm very intrigued.
I know. I'm also excited to look at Sammy's list. I just got to lock in. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble here.
I know, right?
All right, and so for Rafal, I think Rafal's debating knocking out this Dipplin. What are your thoughts on that?
So there's the Mega Froslass, and we are going to be taking the knockout
We
here.
take the knockout on Dipplin, and that is overkill to the highest degree.
Definitely.
What do you think about that decision?
I kind of like it, just because we don't really have another attacker to work with right now. I mean, we have I think that's the Seeking in hand. Oh, but then we got to do the pings too.
Yes, only one ping because the Thwackies are not down. We are going to hit for 120, which is not a huge deal.
Oh, so here it is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's cute.
That's adorable. Little anime art.
I think I still like this one a little bit better, but I do like this one.
The little anime art is very pretty.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so as Rafal said, what could go wrong of doing this? Thor did just play a double Buddy Poffin, which is problematic.
That is very problematic.
And yes, Matt, there was only one Pokemon with an ability on Thor's bench, and that was the Goldeen. So a whopping single damage counter came down.
Definitely, but I mean, this Mega Froslass here is going to be pretty big and require a lot of work to take out on Thor's side.
It is. And so on Thor's bench, just because y'all can't see that, I know, we have 3 Thwacky, 2 Appleton, and a Seeking in the active. And so the Seeking is going to be able to attack twice, and then I'll enable Thor to draw 4 cards. But otherwise, Thor's hand doesn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, it seems like we really used a lot of the resources just to get to the board, get the board to where it is right now.
Oh, we do have a Thwacky down. Okay.
Thwacky, okay.
Yes, Matt, thank you.
Yeah, just one ping.
Correct.
It'll be pings in the future, just because once those Thwackies come down, those Boom Boom Groove abilities are going to be triggering more pings.
To be honest, I think both players want more pings to be coming down. Rafal to advance the game.
Yeah.
Thor, because it means he is playing.
Yeah, he's playing the game for sure.
And so with getting that one Thwacky down, Thwacky has the ability where if your active Pokemon has a Festival Lead ability, you can search your deck for any card and put it into your hand once per turn.
Which is crazy.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's a crazy ability.
And if we're talking about decks for post-rotation, Festival Lead is unironically good.
Yeah, it definitely is, just because, the full single prize board and just having this potential to just uptrade so many times with a single prize deck, it just means that it's got a lot of tools to really succeed in a format like this.
And so drawing 4 cards, those are good. 4 cards. Black Belt.
Yeah.
We see Max Belt.
Yeah.
I mean, Thor's got everything he needs next turn.
Definitely. So we're going to see the Monkey Dory come into the hand here, and I feel like that's going to be really good for Rafal. He's going to want to see that. So we're going to play that. It looks like we're going to be playing the Pokepad as well.
Which is also a really good grab.
Yeah.
We are able to get a Budu down, which is great, because we do not want to leave this Mega Froslass in the active.
Definitely not.
The issue is Rafal's hand is kind of dead otherwise.
Yeah, it looks like he's kind of on top deck mode right now. So, I mean, it kind of helps that we still do have the Mega Froslass to kind of keep us going. But we're definitely going to start needing to get those damage counters moved around the board really, really soon.
The issue, too, is Rafal can't leave this Mega Froslass in the active.
Yeah.
Because if it does, Thor is going to take a 3-prize knockout here. And Bryce, Thor already has taken a prize.
Yeah.
And we would go down to 2 prizes, which would be real sketchy.
Definitely. So, looks like we're just going to be taking another knockout here.
Oh, and that is sketchy.
Yeah. 3rd Snow Run is coming in here from the prizes.
And that, unfortunately, is not what Rafal needs right now.
Definitely. Oh, yeah, that we need the ping as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, though, from Raf's side, if he was able to at least get an energy onto one of those Monkey Dories, it would have made his life a lot easier. Definitely. So, looks like we are going to see the Dipplin come down here. The Night Stretcher is going to be played. It's going to grab what looks like an energy for this attack here.
Which, I mean, is all we need, because if we can hit twice for 100, or even with this max belt 130,
yeah,
it's gonna be 3 prizes for Thor.
Definitely, yeah, that's definitely gonna be where we want to be, and it's gonna definitely get Thorn to pretty much a winning position, almost for the next turn, which is kind of crazy to see.
It is. So this is the upside and downside to that Mega Froslass. The upside is it gives you such one-shot potential into big basic attackers or evolved attackers. The downside is, in a situation like this, it is atrocious because it is such a liability.
Definitely, it is a liability, and it pretty much just means that your opponent's pretty much going to just win the game a lot faster than you can.
Completely. And so one of the downsides for this Froslass deck is it is not quick. You are reliant on pings over time, so you have to stretch the game out long enough where you can stick. You can have things stick.
Definitely, and it also kind of relies on you kind of having your pieces earlier, too, just because if you really want to prolong the game, you also want to get started pretty early, too.
Yes, exactly. And Rafal, unfortunately, has done none of those things to win this game. Bryce, do you mind if we yeet that comment? Because can't really read anything else. So we do see Thor use his other Thwacky abilities, get some stuff out of the deck. I saw a Brave Bangle, which also with 4 Pokemon on the board is enough to take a knockout here.
Definitely. So let's see. We have Baneri in the hand, too.
And that's an interesting inclusion.
Yeah.
So why do you think Mega Lopunny would fall in this deck?
I think that would be... It could be a potential good, like, early game attacker. And I think it also helps out as, like, a corner out as well.
Yes, it does help you clear out corner pawn.
Yeah.
Which is nice because all of your other attackers do have abilities.
Yeah, definitely. So, looks like we're going to be putting those damage counters on.
And we see an Iono for Rafal, and that is a huge deal.
Definitely is. So, it looks like we're going to put the next Snow Runt down here, and it looks like we're going to be playing that Iono.
And I mean, that's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, definitely.
So then what else does Rafal need to see off this Iono?
We got to see some dark energies. We need to see any sort of energy, really. Like either the dark energy or the like luminous prism, anything like that.
So I agree with all that. I think the number one thing Rafal needs to see, though, is a counter catcher.
Yeah, counter catcher will be really good here, too.
And we do not see that, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. And it's tough, too, just because if we don't get the counter catcher here, especially if we don't see a stadium bump either, we just lose the game here. Right?
So, I would agree, and I think that's where it falls in a tough spot, because I think he's going to have to go into something that can tank a hit.
Yeah.
Or this Ting Lu can discard the stadium.
Yeah, the Ting Lu would be pretty good here. Just make sure that we have the energy. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the right energy for it.
I don't think we do. So the other option is that, and without a Bravery Charm, we can't even go into a Monkey Dory since it'll get one shot.
Oh, no. This is not looking too good for Roth.
No. And so we were hyping up this Froslass deck, and I actually stand by that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, exactly like we were saying, Rafal saw no supporters for about 4 turns.
Yeah. And, I mean, our setup was not really the greatest either.
No, and I think with this hit, I mean, Thor just wins, right?
Thor just wins. I'm pretty sure you just double knockout, and then we just go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, and we just we recognize we win the game. So, all right. So Froslass deck is cool. As y'all have seen, if your opponent does pop off and you don't, it is highly losable.
Definitely.
So, Bryce, do we have a second game? Excellent. So we'll get to our second game, and Brian, talk us through what's going on once we get
it.
Yay! Pnoir, Zoroark, yay!
Yay, Christian. So, looks like we have Dragapult in the active. Looks like we're doing a Phantom Dive, and we're putting some damage on the board here. Okay.
All right. So then we now have a highly damaged Zoroark in the active, a partially damaged on the bench, ping on Pheasantipity, a couple damage on a Reshiram, and this Dragapult is about to get obliterated, if I'm seeing this correctly.
Definitely. So what I'm looking at here, or I'm thinking, is that Christian's just trying to get his insurance that he can win the game next turn.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Tristan is going to need to get this Zoroark out of the active if he's going to have a shot.
Definitely. And he's going to need to find a way to disrupt. Disruption, I feel like, is the #1 priority for this turn. And with all the draw that we have, hopefully we can put ourselves into a position to where we can do that.
So disruption is big. Yeah. We also need to disrupt and clear this Dragapult from the board.
Definitely, definitely. So let's see. We're going to do another trade.
Oh, we do see the Iono.
We do see the Iono, which is huge here. We're going to put the Monkey Dory down here, too, which is pretty good. The Monkey Dory could help us take an extra prize here if we really wanted to. And it looks like we're just going to play that Iono straight up here, which is a good idea.
And so what Tristan may be saying is that if I knock out this Budew and Iono and force low, like, I have a chance to still win.
Yeah.
There is one major issue with this. If this Dragapult survives, all it's going to take is popping that Dusclops and a Phantom Dive to win the game.
Definitely. So let's see where we're at now. Tristan has the secret box. I don't know how much that really helps us, though.
So, I mean, if we had attached that dark energy to something else, it could be pretty good because we can ends PP up.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what we can even work with, though. We have the Watchtower, ends PP up.
Also, that actually does change things a bit, though. If we put the Watchtower down and Christian doesn't have a way to bounce it, Blood Moon Ursaluna is no longer a win condition.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something to kind of think about as well. And having that Lily for the next turn also is huge.
It is. So the downside, though, is because we attached to Monkey Dory, we don't have a way to attack with Zoroark, I think.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. But, I mean, we can always... Oh, yeah, we don't have Petch, though, either.
And that's the thing. Tristan's board is clogged. And Fez may have been very important previously, but right now, since Moshi didn't take a knockout, it's not really doing much.
Yeah. So it looks like we might just put down the Watchtower, and we might just take out this Zoroark here. Or no, take out the Dragapult. Okay, so we're going to move some damage around. Okay, we're going to take out the Budew. Take out the 4 prizes.
For those who are kind of watching this game and saying, what is happening? We already attached a Monkey this turn. This is one of those moments where sequencing matters so much.
Yeah. Because
Tristan chose to take the prize at the end of that sequence, he did not know what resources he had to work with. And unfortunately, though, Moshi already has game.
Jeez.
Wait, why just attach the fire? Moshi, just attach the
fire and you Dragon Headbutt, right?
That's all we need. We could just Dragon Headbutt. But no, we want to do this the hard way.
The hard way.
That's also fine too. So I think you just wanted to show off, and I mean, sure, man, whatever. All right, so Brian, that was an interesting one with Monkey Froslass.
Yeah, unfortunately, what didn't go the way that we were hyping it up to be, but you know that'll happen. Yeah.
So there's another philosophy I have as a player, and Brian, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Play a deck with a draw engine.
Yeah, I know.
Play a deck that lets you see cards every game, every turn.
Yeah.
And now I say this while hyping up Froslass, which lets you do none of those things. I mean, do you have a similar approach, or what kind of decks do you prefer?
I mean, before picking up Dragapult, I wasn't really playing too many decks with a draw engine. I mean, when I was playing Arceus decks, those had Barrel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a draw engine. But then I was playing Lugia. That doesn't have a draw engine.
Yeah, and you know how I feel about that deck, too.
Yeah, I played Gardevoir for a decent amount of time as well. And Refinement was a draw engine. But then after rotation, I played it as well. And it didn't have a draw engine then as well. So it was kind of funny, though. I was talking to Elias about, like, you know, playing multiple decks. And he went the route of playing the same deck to an event twice.
Okay.
He got the day 2. I did the
pretty
same
good.
thing. I did the same thing, unfortunately, but I wasn't able to get to day 2.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it happens.
It happens
sometimes.
It definitely happens. You also need to have like the right matchups for the day. You kind of just have to have the hot draws too. So it's one of those things where it just has to be your day.
So did you guys talk a bit about what it takes to make day 2?
Yeah. So I was asking him about his prep.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So I asked him like what made him pick his deck and how he prepped for the event and like what kind of playing he was doing. Was he playing a lot of IRL games? Was he playing on live? Like who was he playing with? What kind of sources did he use to like get his information? He mentioned Metafy guides. He mentioned coaching. He mentioned this and that. So he definitely put a lot of time and effort into this event, and he got rewarded for it.
And I mean, that's an awesome thing to happen. Like you said, there is some variance there. Honestly, for those who are all watching, I would love to hear your thoughts on either how you got to day 2 or what you're trying to get there. Because, Brian, on my end, I'd say it's a couple different things. Everything Elias said there is good and valuable, and I support it. The thing I push, and I am a therapist, I push this with my patients all the time, is to just focus on the process. If you, weirdly enough, if you set your goal of I have to make day 2, you are less likely to make day 2 than if you set your goal as I'm going to play as perfectly as possible going into this event.
Definitely.
And so, like, where have you bumped into issues trying to get that, like, that kind of goal?
Oh, just definitely setting my expectations too high.
Yeah.
My first event was Fort Wayne of 2023, I think. And I kind of just played the event just to have a good time. I just wanted to see where it would take me, see how preparing for an event would kind of be like, this and that.
Higher fall.
And then my second event was Peoria later that year. And I kind of set my expectations a little bit too high. I'd gotten a coach at that time. I felt really good about all the matchups and stuff like that. I felt like that experience really got me where I wanted to. And I pretty much set my expectation for that event as I either day 2 or I bust. And I went 1-3, and as soon as I got that third loss, I was like, all right, I'm getting out of here kind of thing.
Yep.
So if you kind of set your expectations a little too high, it's going to hurt a lot more when you don't reach that goal. So kind of like building up your goals little by little, even if it's just like trying to improve from the last event, is definitely a much healthier way to kind of approach that process, in my opinion.
And so I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
I think if you focus on what can I control and how do I best execute on that, you are going to be in a much better position to succeed.
Definitely.
And like you said, if you get wrapped up in, well, here's my record, here's how many games I have to win, you're not actually focusing on the game at hand.
Yeah.
You're more likely to misplay. You're going to miss lines. And that is exactly the time when people say things like, well, I just got unlucky, or they sacked me, or I bricked, and stuff like that.
And then it also is like a bad mentality too, because for a lot of times, like even I experience this a lot, where if you keep focusing on the record a little bit too much, you're going to think that you lost the game before you even flip the cards over. Because like you'll pretty much think that you lost the game when you saw the matchup. Like my last event was Milwaukee, and I was kind of still having that mentality, whereas like, oh, I have this record right now, like I'm still kind of in it. And like at that time, Goldengo was just destroying all of the Gardevoir decks and stuff like that. So as soon as I saw that I was going into a Goldengo, I would just think to myself, oh, I think I lost this game kind of thing. And after a while, it kind of gets to you after a bit. So it's one of those things where you kind of have to change the way that you think. And for me, my way of going about that was I was just like, I'm just gonna take a break. So I haven't played an event ever since. So
and I mean that's all right. So in the chat, Jurassic, I actually agree. Locking in on each individual round is one of the best things you can do. Because
definitely.
It's you see in the NBA, they're up 3 games to 0. How could they choke? You're not playing the same team or the same game every round.
Every game is like a best of one in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every round is a new deck, a new opponent, new everything.
Yeah.
And I've already lost the name there, but for the other one, how to plan out a game plan, 100%.
Yeah.
You win by mapping out your win condition and also mapping out your opponent's win condition, so you know the right plays to both accelerate your own game plan and stop them from getting theirs.
Yeah, and it's awesome that the whole chat's kind of putting like what's worked for them on there, just because people can just kind of read back on it and kind of use those experience to like help them get to where they want to set their goals at too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chaz, for you, practicing 40 hours, gold 5 wins. Dude, I love that.
Yeah.
Use your success to build confidence and put in the time and effort.
Definitely. Yeah, and then I like this comment from Nick Germain saying, never set a goal of winning a certain amount of games, but just playing as well as possible. That's definitely the way to think about it. And I mean, it's definitely paid off for you as well. 3 of 3 on day 2s this season. So it's not a feat to scoff at as well. So,
no, that's incredible. 3 of 3 is amazing.
Absolutely.
I think I'm 4 of 6. Something like that.
Which is still pretty solid. Yeah.
No, dude, Nick, that's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Brian, I would say, especially when you're coming into a new format like this, it's also a little bit different.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's always like blind formats are always like stressful for the players, but it's fun for the spectator.
Yeah.
Like I know, like it was always fun whenever rotation would start with EUIC. That's how it was like the last couple of years before this past year, because EUIC would be like a brand new format and everyone would just come out like with surprise decks and stuff like that. I remember like, I think it was 2024 EUIC was the one where Szymanski won with the Arc Dura Vulpix.
Yeah.
And that one was like, that came out of nowhere, you know, and then we had like all these other like just like random decks kind of come up. And then that following year was, I think Chars, or I think that was the one that Tina was doing really well at.
Yes.
And that was the one where the Future Box was like really doing well too, because it was just farming Lugia.
Yes.
So
there was like a single event EUIC where FutureBox crushed it.
Yeah, and then after that, it just like fell off the face of the earth. But it was like
not a good deck.
But it was like a cool like at the moment kind of pick, because like people didn't realize how good it like synergized with Iron Hands.
Yeah.
So like all these like surprise like formats and stuff like that are like always fun for a spectator. But like as a player, you're kind of just thinking like, what can I possibly run into?
I know.
Yeah.
And Mo, playing hundreds of games to prepare, yes. And if I remember correctly, you got top 16 of your first day too, which is pretty sick.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah, but then Mo's a phenomenal player as well, so definitely well deserved.
Yeah, Mo is an incredible player. For Nick, any tips on picking a deck? Because your Fallen Falls, you don't pick a deck and stick with it. Brian, what do you use as your criteria?
Yeah, so back when I was really traveling a lot, I was doing locals at least 2 times a week, and I would try to pick a different deck for each local. And I would like to show up early because, you know, fellow teammate Kevin and I, we always would coordinate when we'd kind of show up to locals and this and that, just because all we wanted to do was play games at the end of the day. So I'd always have 2 decks ready with me, one to play for before the local started and one to play for the local itself.
Nice.
And that kind of gets you the reps that you kind of need, and it kind of gives you that variance. So trying to play different decks to different locals kind of helps you pick what you kind of like. And then it helps you kind of like rule out certain decks that you think you wouldn't really want to touch as well. And then once you kind of figure that out, then you can try to like refine your list and then keep playing that same deck over and over and over until you're ready for the event.
No, I think it's great advice. Jurassic, real quick, yes. Being able to turn around, not get tilted, dude, that is an amazing approach. And even though you didn't make day 2, that is such a good run.
Yeah.
So well done, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot like my Toronto. Like my Toronto, I had like a really pretty good start. And I was thinking, I was like looking at the record again, and I was like, I think this might be the one where I can kind of get to that hump. But then as soon as you kind of get to those bad matchups and all that stuff, that's when it kind of gets onto your like mental and stuff like that. But but being able to kind of like come back from like a bad start is definitely a big mental win for sure. Yeah.
And so for Nick on picking a deck, I have a couple criteria, which I'm sure you hear me talk about. Yeah. Oh, Cumbrion, that's awesome. You got to judge Toronto.
Toronto's awesome. I love that event.
Nice.
That's my favorite event.
All right, so criteria for picking a deck. Number 1, if you're going to play a deck to an event and expect to do well, do not play anything below a tier 2 or 3 deck. Play a tier 1, tier 1.5, something in that range. There can be exceptions if it is like your deck, but just recognize it doesn't matter how good you are or think a certain deck is. If it is poorly set up into the other top decks, you're kind of setting yourself up to have a harder time.
Yeah, especially to go off of that as well. If your deck takes a bad matchup into a tier S deck, it's probably not a good idea to play.
If you're okay taking your 2 to 3 losses and beating everything else, sure. But yeah, agreed. Because that means you have 0 margin for error.
Yeah, pretty much. It's either you either need to know how to win that matchup, or you just got to accept that you're probably going to hit that matchup a couple times.
Yep,
for sure.
Exactly. Second thing with it, everyone's kind of been saying it. Grind the absolute crap out of that deck.
Yeah.
Play games over and over and over, so that way when you are playing the game, you don't have to use brain power to figure out what the common lines are or like figure out what's in your list. All your brain power can be used mapping out your game plan, your opponents, and making decisions based on the board in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing to go off of that is knowing your exact 60-card list by like the back of your hand. Like one thing that I kind of learned from when I was getting coaching was being able to explain it's like kind of like thinking about like making those like deck list videos that a lot of YouTubers like to make, or like those TikToks that like deck list breakdowns and stuff like that people like Rahul and like other creators like to do. If you're able to make that kind of explanation of every card in your deck, why it's there, and how many of them you have, and the reasons for it being there. That's also something that I definitely think you need to know as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Vocati, Raging Bolt just got
It got top 8.
Top 8,
Yeah,
top
it got
8
top
at
8.
the Fukuoka. So.
It's cool. I like it. I think it's cool. I don't know how good it is per se, but it's a quad Crispin deck now.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I feel like it synergizes really well with Glass Trumpet, and I think that's what makes it kind of cool too. It's like you can still blow up stuff.
Well, that's the thing. If you have a big, basic, efficient, like low effort deck, you're probably going to do well into like an unknown meta.
Definitely. Yeah, Mo's comment here is pretty good too.
Yeah, so Brian talks through it.
Yeah, so playing your bad matchups, learning the lines into it, you can beat a bad player on a bad matchup because you practice more than them. So, like for example, like for me, when I was playing Lugia, my worst matchup was Miraidon because of the weakness. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you learn how to play Miraidon and you kind of know what the goals that they're trying to do are, you can try to play around that as well.
Yeah.
As just an example, for sure.
It's a great example.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to say as, like, a key criteria of picking a deck is pick one that matches how your brain works.
Yeah.
I think for, like, the top players are people who put hundreds and thousands of hours into this game.
Or do it for a living.
Correct, yes. But, like, they could throw out Raging Bolt, Dragapult, Control all within a 3-week period and be fine. Mm-hmm. For someone like us, I've had to work over a few years to transition from I know how to make things go boom boom to how do I map out a 3-turn plan on how I like take my 6 prizes.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
If you feel confident that you can map out things with a complicated deck very effectively, then good, roll with it. But if you can be honest with yourself, and say, hey, I'm probably not going to be able to do perfect Dustmar math to win with my opponent having 1 prize left, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of accept and be honest with yourself about where you are good and where you have places to grow, and pick decks that fit where you have good skills.
Definitely. And if you know that you go into a certain amount of events per year, the other thing is to just stick with the deck, too.
Yeah.
Once you kind of make that decision, just stick with it. Don't do the game time decision thing where you change your mind the night before the event and this and that, because it's going to affect the way that you play. It's going to affect how like smooth your lines are and this and that. I've made that mistake before of switching my deck the night before, and it didn't go well for sure. So
yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. I mean, these events cost a lot of money, and you pay a lot of money to travel to them. So try to make the most out of it. Prepare the best you can, and try to have a good time.
Yeah. And before we get into our next game here, because we do have our last round coming up, I did want to do 2 things because we're apparently content creators, and I have to say this crap. 1, on Twitch, follow us. Mm-hmm. We would love to have you come join us. I think this is fun. I have fun. Do you have fun?
I have a lot of fun. This is what I look forward to at the end of the week.
No, seriously. This is like one of the highlights of my week. So
I know.
love you to follow us. Like, come hang out with us whenever we're streaming.
Yeah.
On YouTube, if you could like, subscribe, just same thing. We love chatting with you guys. We love that you guys are engaged.
And we love that we're seeing like the same names kind of come up in the chat every week like that, because it helps us kind of develop that relationship a little bit better. So it's good that we're also getting to know you guys as much as you guys are getting to know us.
And it feels good that we know multiple people can tolerate us every week. This is wonderful.
Yeah, it shows that we have a reason to do this every week, right?
Exactly. And then the one last thing as we get into this game, we have a League Cup on Sunday right here at Nerd Rage Gaming, Ascended Heroes format.
That's the important part.
At minimum, $1,000 prize pool, and I will be here yapping with Moshi while you are off doing something like work.
Yeah, I'll be at the hospital working. Unfortunately, I would like to be here, but I also have to work every other weekend. So
that's fair. If you're allowed to tune in, but yes, so we would love to see you here on Sunday, either playing in person. We're going to start at 11 a.m. It is daylight savings. Prepare yourselves.
Oh, that's the part I'm not looking forward to either, is losing that hour's sleep.
I know. But if you can't come in person, come join us on Twitch or YouTube here.
Definitely.
And we're going to get into our last round. We have Alec playing Pnoir into Ryan playing Zoroark. And we caught the tail end, but we haven't actually seen this matchup all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be interesting to kind of see this time, and then we'll also be able to keep our eyes on Ryan to make sure that he's not double attacking with the same Zoroark.
Yes, no cheating Ryan. So this is not great for Alec.
Yeah, it's not great right now. He's going first. We can't use the supporter turn 1, and it looks like we're only going to be able to get 1 Dreepy down.
Which is not ideal.
Not ideal for sure. And it looks like we are going to play Ultra Ball here. Our TV's kind of going out again, so
we're just gonna pop over here and keep an eye on it. But yes, so we're playing Ultra Ball, getting that Dreepy down, which is good.
Yep.
The one thing I would say here, Brian, I don't. Oh, okay, we're
it's
back.
coming
That's
back.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't love. Okay, it's gone. That's fine. I don't love getting rid of the boss here, just because in this matchup, it is so important to.
Yeah.
It is so important to be able to pick and choose who you hit into.
Definitely is. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you have to Ultra Ball to get your only basic Pokemon on the board, you kind of don't have a choice, you know?
Right.
You don't want to have to discard your only extra draw supporter or anything like that as well. It doesn't feel good to discard energy, but sometimes you kind of have to. So those are some of the things you kind of have to work your way around here. So on Ryan's side here, he is going to be able to get another Zoroark down. And then he also, I think, is that the TM Evo with the energy as well?
Is.
Super solid setup here. Looks like we're going to get at least one Zoroark in play here. And we're going to be starting to trade.
All right, so we do see another Dreepy for Alec. And real quick, too, in the comments, Crumbion, I think that's great advice of kind of like we were saying, pick a deck you enjoy so you can feel positive about playing those games. And for Volcati, that's awesome. Like, tell us, what are you playing to the cup on Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. And I think going off of that, too, playing something you enjoy is like, it doesn't have to, you don't have to think too much about it. Like, even if it's just a Pokemon that you really like or anything like that, as long as you're enjoying it, it's going to make the experience a lot better.
Agreed. So we see Alec get 8 cards off this Lily, which is really good.
Yeah, so hopefully we can get something going here, right?
Well, we have at least one Dracloak, which is good. That's about it. That's not great, Brian.
It's not great.
No.
We were kind of hoping that we would at least get like a Badoo or something like that. Oh, Dan, don't fall.
It's okay. We're fine. It's all fine.
We're fine. All right.
And so we do have a Pokepad. We do have an Ultra Ball. So there is a chance to get that Badoo.
Let's see. We're going to play the Pokepad here first.
Do you think just getting that Badoo is the right call?
I think so. You want to. I feel like in a matchup like this especially, and seeing that Ryan doesn't have many cards in hand right now, I feel like putting that item lock into play as early as possible is ideal.
So Crumbrion, I think Ryan does play Darm, but I'm not sure. Do you know?
I want to say he does. I feel like in this format, you have to play Darm.
Yeah.
Because Goldengo is still a deck. So I feel like I was talking to Eli about this earlier. But I feel like you need to have the Darm just for the Goldengo matchup, period.
So, and I don't mind that. I think post-rotation, it's a different question.
Yeah, post-rotation is 1,000% different. I mean, part of me thinks that you still kind of want it for the, the setup decks and stuff like that, but I don't think it's as necessary as it is currently.
I would agree. And so we do see the Badoo hit 2 damage onto the Zora. And Brian, per your point, I actually agree. I think Badoo is the right call there. So now Ryan can't play a Buddy Poffin or something to set up.
Yeah, and it's kind of limiting the deck search options that that Ryan will kind of have because he plays his one trade, and all of a sudden all the cards in his hand are all he can use right now. So it looks like we're going to go with the little scratch here.
And so for the chat, because now I can actually see it again, I understand the obsession about making day 2. Eevee Box is awesome. Donsart is a great deck, too.
Yeah.
Nick, Empoleon is sick, and it may actually be reasonable post-rotation, but unfortunately, that's kind of what I mean. If you want to play the deck you love and have fun, do it. Fully in support of it. Just know that if it's not a high-tier deck, you may not have a high chance of making day 2.
Yeah, and you kind of have to set your expectations based off of that part as well.
And then for Jurassic, yes. I think Tord is a much better player than me. I don't know how you don't play Reshiram in there.
I know. That's what I was talking about earlier. I was like, you get the double Zekrom and all that stuff, but, I wish I really had the Reshiram. I'm going to be messing around with the deck and trying to fit a Reshiram in there.
Dude,
I want to fit a second Ball Search card in that deck as well.
That is also reasonable.
Yeah.
And Ryderly, listen, if you want to play your faves,
Always
I think
play
that's
the
great.
faves. Yeah, definitely.
Just know you may not always win.
Yeah.
All right, so then on Alec's side, we do have a Dragapult. We have a fully loaded Dragapult.
Yeah.
We have a Monkey Dory. Are we Phantom Diving? Because I don't think we should Phantom Dive, right?
No, I don't think so either. I feel like just taking out this Zoroark, I feel like is fine enough where we're at right now. And I feel like if we're able to manually evolve up this Duskull, that could really pay us dividends in the future.
I agree, because I think there is a very real potential of wiping the board if we are able to get a Clops down here.
Definitely.
For second Cup and Orlando coming up, Pnoir or Zard. Brian, what do you think I'm going to recommend?
For
for
are we doing?
for a cup coming up, and then for Orlando, Pnoir or Zard?
Oh, Paul. Oh, you're going to say Paul for sure.
I am going to say Paul. I think it's the best. It is the best deck in format, and only doesn't perform as well because everything targets it.
Yeah, definitely.
And Crumbyon Dragapult Blaziken is actually awesome post-rotation.
Yeah.
And Chaz, you're right. Don't obsess with day 2. Just try to improve.
Yeah, definitely. And as long as you can kind of see yourself improving based off of your play, I feel like that's enough that you can really ask of yourself at the end of the day.
And so Alec, getting back to the game, I think he's setting up for the board wipe.
Yeah, I think so too. I kind of like this idea of like you're going to give up the Badoo, but in the process, you can possibly win the game.
And Ryan, right now, we still do not see a basic Pokemon, do we?
No. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh, so we have another Zoroark.
Okay, so that's huge.
That is huge.
So now Ryan doesn't just automatically lose, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, definitely is a big deal. We can get another trade here. Let's see if we get a basic off of that. Because as much as it's nice to be able to have our... be able to survive, we also want to do some damage too.
Agreed. And honestly, weirdly enough, right now, Ryan cannot attack.
Can't even attack, yeah.
Which is hilarious in a weird way.
I know. And I feel like at this point, if you're Alec, you still probably just want to... you still want to item lock here.
I don't see a downside.
Yeah.
Especially because you can set it up so you can clear this Zoroark with a Phantom Dive.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so then what does Alec do?
I think he just keeps setting up. I mean, you have a Dracloak kind of ready to go. You have a Dusclops in play as well. You kind of just keep going. You just keep... I feel like the only reason to kind of Phantom Dive here is if you're able to take out that Zoroark in the active with a Dusknoir play.
And I don't think it's worth it to use Dusknoir in this situation.
Yeah,
do you?
I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to, but at the same time, I feel like if we're just keep item locking and you just keep putting Ryan into this position, like you can kind of just win off of that.
So the tough part with that is eventually Ryan will set up, and I think you just want to be in as strong a position as possible when that happens.
Definitely.
Zoroark Chicken is actually really interesting, Jurassic.
Yeah.
And Kleck, should I play Froslass Monkey? If you can play it well, I think it's in a great position.
Yeah, it's a cool deck. It's definitely one of those ones that I'm definitely been considering as well, as of hearing about it.
So, Alex just dawned for Fez, Dusknoir, and Klops. What do you think the plan is here?
Interesting here. Oh, looks like we're gonna... Ooh, I don't know how I feel about this one.
That is interesting.
I don't know how I feel. I feel like if you were gonna Dusknoir, you're supposed to do the active, I feel like.
Wait, actually, if we Phantom Dive this turn, I love this.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to see one of those Pokepads for a Dreepy, but I actually would love to see Alec hit into the active.
Okay.
Of course, we could also not do that. So here's the thing I'm thinking, Brian. I love that play if you hit into the active Zoroark, because then you set it up so either Zoroark will die to a Phantom Dive the next turn.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so I love that decision there. Well, with a little help on the second one, but whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, then you're in a position to take a 4-prize turn, and if Ryan spends his supporter for turn as Turo, you feel great as Alec, because now there's Zora on the bench you can also clean up.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So it looks like we're going to be putting Monkey Dory into play now. I wonder if we have the energy for it as well.
Kind of figure with the amount of cards in Ryan's hand and a couple trades.
Ooh, okay. So it looks like we're going to be playing the Lily, and we're going to be putting the TM Evo into play as well to thin that out of the hand, so we don't hopefully draw into it again.
And Crumbyon, being a big Gardevoir player, it's been great for so long. And Chicken, I could see that being really good with that acceleration. And by the way, when we say Chicken, Blaziken EX, which once during your turn lets you accelerate a basic energy from your discard to one of your Pokemon in play.
Yeah, definitely. So that can definitely be a very powerful card going into the next format for sure.
Well, so Ryan hit the energy.
Yeah, he got the energy.
We don't actually have a ton else that we can use.
Yeah, I mean, we can attach for sure. So at least if we wanted to, we can move some of those some of those damage counters on the board elsewhere. Looks like we just drew 2 supporters that we can't use at the moment.
Which is annoying.
It is annoying for sure.
But yeah, Ryan can knock out this Budu if he wants to.
Yeah, he could. And I wonder if that's going to be the optimal play here.
Without another Ends Pokemon on the bench, Ryan can't actually attack this Budu.
Yeah. It might just be one of those things where we kind of attach onto the Monkey Dory, and hopefully we can take an extra prize here that can do something for us.
So here's also why I would have really liked Alec to Phantom Dive if we're going to pop Dusknoir, is I would want Alec to take advantage of the fact that Ryan is stuck in this position.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, that just... It's kind of like a push comes to shove, like kick you while you're down kind of play if you go that route.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we will knock out that Budu. Ryan does get a prize.
Yeah. Let's see if that prize did anything. I don't know. It seems like we're contemplating stuff.
Ninja EX with Chicken actually is
cool.
Sick. And we hit Artisan, which is
Artisan,
huge.
which is huge. So now we can get another Zorua as well here, which is huge. And then being able to get that third Zoroark is going to be huge as well.
And this is the risk. So now that Ryan is more set up, it can be hard for Alec to close out the game.
Yeah, definitely. Especially since it's very difficult for Dragapult to take one-shots against all these Zoroarks that are in play. So it's going to really be asking a lot of Alec to kind of close out this game because it seems like he's been in the driver's seat this entire time here.
Well, so, and here's another question I have. Alec had Pokepad in hand this past turn, and we chose not to get down a Dreepy.
Yeah.
Any idea why?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's something that could have been put into play a lot earlier, but seems like we haven't been able to do so. And I did see a comment here, someone asking about Ryan's list. We actually don't know.
We do not.
I was kind of looking. I know Ryan, he laid out his whole list a little bit earlier before we started today. I didn't get the chance to pick his brain about it as much because I know he's a very big Zoroark enjoyer.
I was actually playing a little Honchkrow post-rotation.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
It's fun, yeah.
That deck was a good time.
Yeah.
All right, so then with this game, we have the Duskull down. We have an opportunity to use Fez here. Like, Brian, what's Alec's plan here?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to see how much of this board we can kind of clear out. Looks like we can at least take out one of those Zoroarks if we're able to gust the one on the bench. And then we're going to evolve into Dusclops here as well.
I mean, this has to be a counter-catcher Iono angle, right?
It's got to be. I feel like it has to be because you want to be able to take out some of the draw support on Ryan's side. So you want to be able to at least take 2 prizes and then disrupt Ryan's hand.
So, Matt, I actually agree. I think Alec is playing a little too passively. The only reason I agree is, though, because Alec popped Dusknoir and then just chilled. If you're going to pop something like that, I think you have to apply pressure alongside it.
Definitely, and I 1000% agree. That's definitely the route that you need to kind of go because as soon as you start to get the wheels kind of moving, you definitely want to try to keep up with the pace.
And Raya, I think Zoroark could be great for Houston or Orlando. It's just a hard deck to play.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the ones I've been struggling to kind of learn just because I feel like you have a lot of pieces that can really work. You just have to know how to use them to the best of your abilities. I've been misplaying a lot with this deck on the ladder. A lot of, even in my testing with Christian, there's just a lot of times where I, think I have my board set up and I just forget to have an attacker.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem. Yeah, we're working on it, though.
That's good. All right, so we are going to see Phantom Dive clear Zoroark from the board, and I gotta imagine all this damage goes on the damaged Zoroark,
It's
right?
got to. I feel like you need to, just because you need to keep up the pressure of potentially getting a second knockout on one of these other Zoroarks as well. Because if you put it on something like the Monkey Dory, or if you spread it out, then the Monkey Dory is just going to clear out that damage anyways, and it's pretty much going to undo all of your hard work.
So Chromion's mentioning the 6-prize turn. I actually think that's the issue, is that there's not going to be much capability for 6-prize turn with that Monkey Dory down.
Yeah.
Decent or good decks take thinking or good planning. 13 degrees, you are 100% correct. It is not a simple format right now.
Not really, no. There isn't really that really straightforward take 2 prizes kind of deck that's really prominent in the format, because you have stuff like Raging Bolt and all that, but I feel like those decks are requiring a lot more flexibility now than what they kind of used to.
And I would agree with that completely. So one good thing for Alec is that Ryan and Alec are on even prizes. So there's not a lot of ways Ryan can take advantage of something like a counter catcher or the like.
There's not going to be too many other shenanigans kind of going on here, which is also good.
Ryota, decent or ideal board states for each matchup. I mean, I think that's great for matchup planning to kind of figure out the lines. Matt, I agree. Double Buddy would have been good. And 13 Degrees, having Pult and Guardy as the top 2 decks forces everything else to learn how to play around that.
Definitely.
All right, so Brian, I'm trying to read all the comments. You talk us through the game. What's going on?
I know, because I can't really see the comments from here, too. So I'm trying to see if I can keep up here. But looks like we're just doing some extra trading and stuff. We put the Reshiram down, which is good.
That's very good.
I like the Reshiram in this matchup a lot. We're going to put that extra energy on the board, and looks like we'll be able to take some sort of knockout here. I like this idea of going for the Dusclops because the Dusclops is really what's going to get you that one-shot damage. So if you're able to take that extra knockout, you definitely take that opportunity too.
So, Badsy, we don't actually take deck lists in for locals typically, but if you want to send us a message or comment on our post for NRG TCG on Twitter or X, I guess, let us know what list you're looking for, and we can try to track it down from the player. I'm not always great at that, but we can try.
We can try.
Yes.
We can definitely try for sure.
All right, so then we see the damage move from Monkey Dory.
Definitely, and I like the move of putting it onto one of the other single prizers just because it makes it a lot easier to set up like a easy knockout on something like the 90 HP Jercloaks and all of that. So being able to kind of move your damage that way is definitely good. So we're going to be taking the knockout here, and we are going to be moving into the Dragapult on Alec's side here.
And I think Alec is still in a fine position.
Yeah.
Crumbreon, listen, Tord took Reshiram out, so I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Yeah, I want to put it back in.
Yes. And then going after Pnoir line, always a good choice. I agree. I hate it. And then, Brian, how does Alec respond?
Yeah, it's very tough because I feel like without Gust or anything like that, it's hard to respond with a multi-prize knockout, which is really what Dragapult excels at most. Just because of how awkward a lot of these HP numbers are, it's definitely very, very tough.
It is. And 13 Degrees, we do follow the Geneva Convention rules here at Nerd Rage Gaming, so that is not a route we're going to take.
Definitely, definitely.
Replaced by scrolls. It's possible.
Definitely.
All right, so then, Brian, we have still a set of Pults. Ryan is down to 3 prizes. How do we best go about closing out this game?
I know it's tough. It's very tough here. I mean, being able to just get these evolutions going is pretty decent. But now that the Reshiram is here, it's going to make things tough because now that these knockouts are going to come a lot sooner.
They are, and the issue for Alec with evolving that Dreepy into Dracloak, it means that if he does hit into the Zoroark with Double Monkey, Ryan can just win the game this turn.
Exactly. I know, that's the tough part too, and I think that's really why the Double Monkey tech is just so good.
It's so good, especially with Ryan being able to set it up, knowing that this Zoroark will survive the turn.
Definitely, and I feel like playing something like a Double Monkey, and if you had something like E-Switch too, that's just going to make it so much better.
So from my end then, Brian, I got to say, I think the plan may need to be to kill a monkey.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Sorry,
and it's
knock out.
Yes. It's tough though, because when you play decks like this too, part of you wants to stay on that even prize trade, but sometimes you feel like you're forced out of it just so you can kind of prevent your opponent from taking a quicker, quicker win or anything like that.
So I agree with that. I think we were actually talking about this with Matt Bana when we were at EUIC. Following the flowchart is fantastic when the flowchart means you win. But if the flowchart means you lose, you have to try to do something different.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, because if you follow the flowchart and it's not giving you a winning position, you're just going to end up losing every single time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so then we haven't played a supporter yet.
Yeah.
We have boss available.
We definitely do, and it seems to be the move here. I don't know why we're putting down this Holucha here. I feel like that just puts more damage for Ryan to work with.
Wait, are we going to Turo double Lucha, kill the monkey?
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay, we just decided to kill the monkey.
Okay.
Wait, are we going to... Are we going to kill 2 monkeys?
Oh, okay. If it's 2 monkeys, then I don't really mind it as much.
We don't have Tera.
Okay, so...
But then also I have a question. Why are we killing the monkey with energy?
Yeah.
Like, I recognize we want to put damage on it, but this can't be good.
I know. It can't be good. That can't be the right play. If you take out a monkey, it has to be the one with the energy, right? Because that means it's just going to heal up all the damage now.
Agreed. And also, I recognize there's already 3 damage on it, but I don't care.
Yeah. Especially if we're not even... Ooh, I don't know how I feel about spreading all the damage now, too.
13 degrees, the existence of ghost Pokemon absolutely proves your point there. I can't argue whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think about this decision, Brian?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty questionable, at least based off what I'm seeing. I don't know. Maybe Alec might have a different view of the board state, and he might have this crazy like multi-prize turn he might be trying to take here. But right now, I'm not seeing it.
He may be trying to play around with Monkey Dory on his own end, but
yeah,
this math is really tough.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's the hard part about it.
So how does Ryan win this turn?
I feel like the way for Ryan to win this turn is he needs to get that monkey back. And I feel like if you're able to move, damage counters in a way to take out that Dracloak and you're able to, like, Gust Fez, that'll win you the game right away.
So that is exactly it. Because Alec did not hit into Zoroark, Reshiram is not enough to take a KO on a 2-prize Pokemon.
Yeah.
So Ryan would need to find access to Zekrom in order to close out this game, and it would require gusting as well, like you said.
Yeah, definitely. So we see the double attach here. So we have 2 Dark Energies on 2 monkeys. So we're going to take that extra prize here. And let's see if we draw into a way to get that Zekrom and the Gust as well. So it looks like we're putting something onto... Is that Hourglass?
It's an air balloon.
Air balloon, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can also just hit this Dragon Ball for 170, and it's not bad.
Yeah, definitely, because I don't think we're really in a position right now to where Alec's able to take 3 prizes here.
Ryan can also Iono here if he chooses to, and put Alec in a tough spot because we'll be able to draw with Fez, but that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's the tough part about it.
And so I understand, yes, 13 degrees, because we are past Seattle, we are in full Ascended Heroes phase, and our cup on Sunday that we will be streaming here on Twitch and YouTube will also be Ascended Heroes, and it is the very first weekend legal for Ascended Heroes.
Definitely, and I feel like if we didn't have a league challenge last week, we definitely would have been playing Ascended last week too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Alec, for using all the same colored dice. I appreciate that.
Definitely. So going into that turn now, let's see what we can kind of do now.
So I see a line.
Yeah. You see a line?
I see a line.
Okay.
It's not a great line, but I see a line.
It's a line at the end of the day.
The line does exist.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, it's going to necessitate some poor draw on Ryan's end. So do you see a line for Alec to at least put himself in a winning position?
I'm not seeing the line that you're seeing, probably.
So the line I'm seeing, I don't know if it'll work, is we need to do a couple things. We need to bench a Monkey Dory. We need to attach a Luminous Energy to it. We need to counter-catcher up the Monkey Dory without damage or the Reshiram. And we need to Iono Ryan into Oblivion. Because if we are able to take 2 prizes this turn on single prizers and then set up one of the Zoroarks to be Blood Mooned, Alec can put himself in a position where Ryan needs to draw very, very well to close out the game.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
And honestly,
it requires a lot of moving pieces, though, for sure.
It does. And it may not even need to clear both monkeys, but we do at least need to clear one monkey and set up one Zoroark for game.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So let's see what we're thinking about now.
Crumbreon, Perry Pulse. That's glorious.
That's definitely like a regional deck list name that you submit when you put your list in.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to gust the monkey.
Yep. That's the start.
It is.
Unfortunately, it's our supporter, though.
It is. And that's very bad.
Yep.
So with this, is there a way Like, is there a way Ryan whiffs?
Interesting. We're retreating into the other pole.
And I think that's a necessity.
That's definitely a necessity.
All right, so there's a couple other things we're noticing here.
Yeah.
Alec has a couple cards in his hand, Pokepad, the like, that he has not been playing.
Yeah, and I feel like those cards could have been used turns ago.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
13 degrees, I also think Pull Froslass could be a real deck. I just don't know how to build it.
Yeah. I feel like there's just like some weird like numbers that we kind of have to figure out with that, like how much of each line that you're kind of playing and stuff like that.
How many Crispin do you play,
Yeah.
since that's going to be a necessity?
Definitely. Let's see. Looks like we're going to take the Phantom Dive here. Let's see where we're putting our damage now.
I mean, I think the damage is pretty clear. I think you put 2 on one Zoroark, and you put the other 4 on the other one.
Yeah. For sure.
Or listen, Crumbreon, if you want to tag Energy TCG and show the list, I would be all about it. I would love to see that.
Definitely.
All right, so we do put all the damage on Monkey Dory.
All right, so we're going to Pal Pad. Looks like double boss here, and we got to see if we can draw into it now.
We probably will.
Yeah.
We probably will.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how Zoroark is. I mean, you can pretty much draw yourself out of everything as long as you have the draw.
And we're going to see 4 cards off trade, and we could use Pheasantipity because the knockout was taken.
Definitely.
So odds are in our favor.
So we're going to thin a card out of the deck with the Artisan here. Looks like it might be another Zorua.
Munoz, yes. Alec could have drawn with Fez and declined to for some reason I cannot answer.
Yeah.
And 13 degrees, Xander Bennett actually was full on the Pult Froslass chain, so they'd be a great person to talk
Definitely.
to.
So we're going to play the... Okay, we're going to thin out some more cards here, too, which is good.
Seems good, seems
Yeah,
good.
definitely.
Good sequencing, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely. Also kind of shuffles the deck up a little bit, too, so we can see how quickly we can dig into the deck as well.
And so Alec may take this as a hater comment. I
Yeah.
don't mean it as a hater comment, because Alec honestly is a great player,
Yeah.
plays really cool decks, and makes some really good decisions. In this,
there we
okay,
go.
well, that was easy. But in this situation, Alec essentially played his way out of the game.
Yeah.
And Ryan made exactly the decisions he needed to make to put himself in a winning position.
Absolutely.
And so do we have a second game, Bryce? I mean, that's totally fine. All
Yeah.
right. So let's go and pop over here, and we can just kind of close out here, Brian.
Yeah, the best that we can.
Yes, the best we can. So y'all
Yeah.
can see us. We just won't be able to see you. But
Exactly.
So if I'm not reading your comments, it is because I hate
Yeah.
you, just to be clear.
Okay. We got to shift a little bit here.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
all right.
Wait, why is the...
Huh?
Oh, move the camera.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hold on, we're working on it.
That's good.
Is that
cool.
good? That good? All right, we're good. We're
All
good.
right.
Beautiful. So, hello again, everyone.
Yep.
So, thank you all very much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Brian, we saw some great games for Ascended Heroes.
And it was cool that we saw a lot of different stuff, too.
Yes. So, we did see a lot of Pult, but honestly, it's so good.
Yeah, somebody was asking real quick where our shop's located. It's Buffalo Grove, Illinois. One of the northern suburbs in Illinois. So that's where our shop's located out. If you're close by, come through.
Yes, we're about 30 minutes northwest of the city. So if you are in the Chicagoland, Wisconsin, Indiana area, or even like southwest Michigan, dude, we would love to have you guys come out for the Cup on Sunday. And then if you can't come out and join, we'd love to have you tune in on Twitch or YouTube like we are.
Definitely.
All right, so then, Brian, any last thoughts for everyone before we get them out of here?
No, just thanks for always showing love to all of us while we're doing our streams here. We appreciate all the comments, the discussions, everything that you guys kind of provide for us while we do these streams and coming back every week and just continuing to watch us. So appreciate all the love and all that stuff, and we hope to see you guys next week.
Agreed. I really appreciate you guys being here, chatting with us, just being a part of this, because like we say all the time, dude, we're so glad we get to do this.
Yeah.
This is just awesome.
Absolutely.
So we would love to have you back here with us on Sunday because we will be streaming our Ascended Heroes Cup. The Cup has a minimum $1,000 prize pool, and if we hit 64 players or 90 players, that cranks up a ton. So love to have you come out here. Thank you all so much for joining us here for our Ascended Heroes gameplay, and we will see you here Sunday at Nerd Rage Gaming.